with Christian Miller taking him down.
It's time for the Miller's Edge with New York Giants legend and South Carolina Hall of Famer Corey Miller and his son, four-time SEC champion and two-time national champion Christian Miller.
Knocked down again. It was Christian Miller.
Here is college football playoff national champion Christian Miller on Tide 100.9 and 12:30 a.m. WTBC.
And welcome into this Manic Monday edition of the Miller's Edge. Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Definitely one of those editions here on the show, right? And it is a Victory Monday, so let's definitely get that out the way. But when you look at really what's gone on in the college football world over the last 2 days, last 48 hours, it's been a wild ride. So we're going to talk about all that. We're definitely going to break down this Alabama-South Carolina game. You guys see the title over on the YouTube stream. If you haven't, go check us out right now at the Miller's Edge on YouTube. It's completely free. All we ask is drop us a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. But we will be breaking down the game. I will pull up some clips and we'll take a look at it because obviously there was some good, right? A little bit more towards the end of the game. Good bit of bad and definitely some ugly in this game. So we'll talk about it. We'll break it down. And we'll answer any questions that you guys might have because I know there's plenty of questions about this last game that we played. Biggest thing we can take away from it, Chase and Reed, right? 29-22 victory. You walk away with a dub. At the end of the day, doesn't matter how pretty it is, how ugly it is, how you got it. As long as you have a W in that win column, that's all that matters. And that's what we did. So we capped off that 5-week stretch, right? 5 SEC games, 4 of them being ranked opponents. You know, we were blazing through that. And a lot of people kind of had this feeling. Now, I will say this. I definitely was watching the tape, and I kept saying, I just don't think the South Carolina team will be able to pull it off. But I did say it would not shock me if this ends up being a challenge. And I listed those reasons why I thought it could be a challenge. And I'm going to go over them because if you look at how this game played out, a lot of that ended up happening in this game. And I'll discuss all that here in a second when we come back. But we'll dive into all that in a minute. But I also want to throw out a couple other things that have been swirling around the college football world, right? How about LSU? So they're not only our next opponent, but we talk about being a faceless opponent each week. Well, they're going to be a coachless opponent, right? Brian Kelly has been fired out of Baton Rouge after following a team meeting last night. I believe it was called late. And sounds like they went ahead and went through with it. A lot of people were wondering what was going to be the move there. But Chase, Reed, guys, I mean, this is just getting out of hand, in my opinion. I mean, you're talking about Florida's got vacancies mid-season, Penn State vacancy mid-season. I mean, and this is not just like, oh, okay, you're just going to fire this guy and move on. I mean, we're talking about big-time buyouts, right? I mean, these coaches, I mean, the buyout right now for all the coaches that have been fired mid-season at this point, if I'm not mistaken, is higher than the highest. I guess the record was like 2 years ago, and it's already beaten that, and we're just over the midpoint of the season. So it's crazy. It's just crazy to think about because, I mean, these are good coaches, right? And I understand they're not living up to these expectations, but it just goes to show you, man. I mean, like, I think there's a shorter leash now than ever, right? With these coaches and the expectations from these programs. And the other thing that I guess I've gathered from this, guys, is allegedly these schools just have a money printing machine because, I mean, not only is Brian Kelly, I think he's around like 50, but to buy out the rest of the staff and everybody else involved, I think what I read said it would be pushing $100 million. $100 million. So obviously LSU just said that, you know what, we'll bite the bullet, we'll cough up the cash, and then we'll move on. But, you know, even more interesting than just that is that I'm finding like there's been several tweets from whether it's former LSU guys like alumni or whatnot, but it seems like people are almost kind of I wouldn't necessarily say happy, but some of their cryptic tweets are kind of indicating that they might not have been the biggest fan of Brian Kelly. So who knows? Who knows what was going on over there? It's just crazy. I will say this. Not only is it a great time to be a failed head coach and get a buyout and just get paid just to go sit on a yacht for a couple years and come do media or coach in a few years if you want, but also if you're a coach that's up and coming, I mean, look, guys, look at these coaching spots. I mean, LSU, that's a hell of a job right there, man. I mean, that's probably the best one in my opinion. Florida's a really attractive one too. Penn State, very historic program. I mean, like these are some great, positions that are opening up. How about some of these younger coaches, right, that are probably going to get some opportunities, and maybe not just a young coach. I mean, Lane Kiffin's name is swirling now more than ever, right? So it's been quite the circus this weekend. But I also do at some point want to just kind of take a look around the SEC and kind of where things stand, right? Because if you look at it, we're kind of starting to weed teams out a little bit. You know what I mean? I said we still got plenty of time, but like I said on Friday, now is that point in the year where you got a bunch of one-loss teams battling each other out. This is where the SEC gets to be like a bloodbath because everybody starts beating up on each other. And then it's unfortunate because you go from having all these teams in the top 25 and we start knocking each other off. And it kind of makes the SEC not look as strong as we would be. But, I mean, again, Vanderbilt playing Missouri. It's a top-ranked matchup, right? Vanderbilt continues, their success that they're having, led by Diego Pavia. But Missouri lose their quarter, but it's a close game, right? You go look at Texas A&M, struggle in the first half, down in Baton Rouge, then that ass whooping that they put on LSU pretty much got Brian Kelly fired. And I'm not going to lie, looking at them, starting to say, all right, I'm going to give them some respect. I know LSU's not looking great this year, but to go on the road, Baton Rouge, and have a second half like they did after, not playing great in that first half, man, they definitely quarterbacks playing really good. Their defense looks really good. They earned some more of my respect for sure. Ole Miss picks up a win over Oklahoma. Again, I still think Ole Miss's defense is a little inconsistent for me, but they look like a good team. So it's going to be interesting to see this SEC race because where we're at, I mean, you got Alabama narrowly escaping South Carolina, which we're about to dive in and talk about, right? Not going to put too much on the performance given all the other circumstances, which we'll get into that in a minute. But still, you got Alabama, right? Undefeated in the conference, still only lost being, to Florida State week 1. You've got Texas A&M, undefeated overall, undefeated in the conference. Those are the top 2 teams right now. Then you look at Georgia, you look at Ole Miss. I think those top 4 definitely it's going to come down to I guess how these teams finish out, right? It's going to be interesting. You look at Ole Miss's schedule, not too challenging there. So it's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be an exciting end of the regular season, I believe. I see Superfly. You mentioned Mississippi State. How about that game? I mean, they should have beat Texas. I mean, they choked. They unfortunately choked, but still, it's good to see. Shout out to Mississippi State. Chase, he's got ties to Mississippi State with some school and whatnot. But hey, man, shout out to Mississippi State. It's good to see them start to get some life back in there, especially knowing that they're going to be one of our permanent opponents for the next few years. I would love to see them a little bit better than they've been in the past few years. But anyway, just wanted to take a quick preview around the SEC and kind of what's been going on there. We still have to play Oklahoma. You know what I mean? I still think it'd be a decent game, but I don't know, guys. The way it's kind of looking, I mean, you got a coachless LSU team coming to Bryant-Denny Stadium. Oklahoma, definitely still a good football team. Don't get me wrong. They're a really good team, but just not as good as I initially thought the first few games in the year. And then Auburn, we already know how they're struggling, but still it's going to be tough going on the road. All I'm getting at is the remainder of Alabama's schedule, 3 straight home games. Looks like we're going to be put in a nice position coming off of this bye week. You know what I mean? That's all I'm getting at. But I think if you learned anything from this past Saturday, doesn't matter who you're playing, what the schedule says, what the record says, what hardly anybody says. You're going to get everybody's best game moving forward, and you got to prepare just like that. That being said, it's time to hit our first timeout. When we come back, we dive into this Alabama-South Carolina game again. The Tide closing out the first big stretch, right, with a dub, narrowly escaping Columbia, South Carolina. I know my dad probably about choked on his cigar when they unfortunately choked, had an opportunity to win it. And similar to what happened last year, man, they just couldn't get the job done. They basically gave us the win, right? If you think about it, 2 years in a row. I kind of feel for Shane Beamer. I hate to say it like that, but I kind of feel for him, man. Just so close. And I know they get so excited, but they just can't figure it out, man. Maybe one day. But Saturday was not that day. Thank God, because we would not have heard the end of it from him on the show. He probably would have been front and center about at 10:55 before the show even started if that happened. So thank God it didn't. All right, we got to hit timeout. We come back. We dive into this breakdown right here on the Miller's Edge. Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Art Sport Experts. We'll be right back.
Get a head start on the holidays at Celebrate.
What's up, guys? Man, it's good to be back on here. We haven't done a little roll call in a minute. Where's everybody listening from? If you guys haven't already, man, drop a like. Let me know where down below where you guys are listening from. Who we got all in here? JS Webb, what's up? Superfly, what's up? Yeah, man, it's a wild game for sure, man. I'm looking forward to talking about it. Yeah, big exhale, Mike, for sure. What's going on, brother? Victory Monday. Yeah, man, thank God, right? Victory Monday again on the Miller's Edge. It's interesting, man. I don't know if it's because I'm using this different computer, but your guys' names are showing up as like your usernames now. So it's like, instead of it used to have like if you had a name. So if I call you by something else, I'm just going off of what's showing up. It's showing like the actual like the handles. Gov Wilson, what's up? Ryan, what's going on, man? How many people predicted 29-22? Shoot. Shout out to Reed and JS. Those guys wrote down the score predictions. I didn't even look at it because in my head, there ain't no way anybody got that right. Wait, damn, it's on my other phone. And my other phone is not in this room. But I'm pretty sure I don't think anybody got it. That defense. So yeah, man, defense helped us out tremendously. They played really solid in this game. We'll definitely talk about that. Damn, I probably should go grab my other phone while I think about it. I got a chance to do it real quick. Yeah, let's do that. It'll give me 30 seconds. I just want to make sure I have my phone just in case I need it.
Back with Stephen Mezrano, Alabama Injury Lawyers. Mez wins.
No, it's not too soon to start holiday shopping. Ulta Beauty's early Black Friday event is happening now through November 22nd. Shop $10 beauty minis from brands like MAC and Too Faced. Take 30% off Lancome and Touchland fragrances and body mists. With new offers dropping every week, our associates can help you find the perfect gifts. Head into Ulta Beauty today to shop our early Black Friday event. Ulta Beauty. Gifting happens here.
Childhood cancer is devastating, but childhood cancer is beatable with St. Jude. I knew that St. Jude was a children's hospital, that no one ever received a bill from St. Jude, but I in no way understood how completely they take care of their patients and their families. To any of the donors, I would say bless you and thank you, because without the donors, St. Jude wouldn't be here.
Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Yep, Reed says he checked the scores, man. No one got it right, man. Man, 29-22, though, to be fair. I mean, I don't know who would have guessed that. (29-22). That's definitely an interesting score for sure. All right, let's see. One person said 27-20. Excuse me, 27-17, but that was the closest. That was the closest one we had, man. All right, we got some questions I can try to hit real quick. Why these unranked teams always play Bama so hard? Because, man, it's just you're getting an opportunity to make light in your season, right? Or make light out of a situation where you like won in whatever in the conference. You beat a top 5 team. You saw those guys ready to storm the field, man. I mean, it's not like it's going to change the season for them, but I mean, hell, get a top 5 win. I mean, that's why. Plus, it's Alabama. I don't care what people say, man. The fact that the logo is still the same, right? People are going to. I love doing a little roll call because we've got all different people in here. It's just crazy seeing everybody from all over, man. Oh, good. Tia's in here, so we can explain. Matter of fact, maybe we should start there. Maybe we should start at the end of the game, that whole call. I kind of want to talk about that first. And welcome back into this. We'll go Victory Monday this time, right? We talked about everything going on that's been a little crazy, but let's go Victory Monday edition of the Miller's Edge, tied 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Hey, don't forget, guys, if you guys are like me and you like free stuff, right, that doesn't make you greedy. That makes you smart, right? You're being frugal. Well, you got a chance to get some free cash. Good Feet, kickforcash.com. Go sign up. The kicking challenge, right? You get an opportunity to kick some field goals to win some free cash, 10, 20, 30-yarder, right? If you max out, you win the max amount of money, a couple $1,000s. If not, you still walk away with the prize. All of it is completely free to sign up. All it takes is your name and an email. Goodfeetkickforcash.com. Make sure you guys go do that right now. And also, if you want to take a look at their arch supports, which are designed to eliminate and alleviate all types of pain, foot pain, knee pain, back pain, you guys know the drill. Goodfeet.com is their website. You can find the nearest location to you. But if you're in Alabama, there's 5 stores. You got one in Tuscaloosa right there, Midtown Village, Madison, Mobile, Birmingham, and another one, I believe. It might be Huntsville. I could be wrong. I'm drawing a blank. But the website will tell you. Just type in that zip code. But again, these things are game changers and will make you feel brand new, better than ever, lighter than ever on your feet, more balanced than ever. These things are incredible. Again, that is the Good Feet store. Improving the quality of people's lives 2 feet at a time. All right, how about this? Because we only got a few minutes anyways. I see the Pastor Payne jumped on here. I definitely want to get his thoughts. I'm definitely going to give my thoughts. But since we only got a few minutes before this next segment, for this segment, to stay on schedule, let's take a look at like the last play, right? The last play or the last call, the game-winning touchdown for Alabama. There's been a lot of conversations here, and I just want to talk about this real quick because there's been a lot of conversation. I see Tia's in here, and I want to get to it while she's right here because she brought up this point, right? So just to go over the whole game situation, remember, we were down 14-22. South Carolina was up, right, in the fourth quarter. We're going down the field. We finally get some momentum going. You guys know how the first half went. And again, I will put some tape up on here. We'll break down some stuff. I got plenty to talk about. I promise we're going to get to that. I just want to go over this real quick. But Alabama marched down the field. We end up scoring, right? The game ends up being tied at 22. We know the beautiful forced fumble by Deontay Lawson, right? Biggest play of the game. South Carolina has the ball, is marching down the field, hopefully to put points on the board to win the game. They're getting ready to storm the field. You know, time's going down, and then boom, we get the fumble recovery. We have the football now. And if you're Alabama, you're in a situation, you're right there in that field goal range. You're obviously trying to get as close as possible. You got a young kicker, right, who's not very experienced, has been inconsistent. We know that. But anyway, the play I'm talking about is we all know what it is. It's Jeremy Bernard and the Wildcat. They fake the reverse. He ends up taking it. Well, it's a 3rd and 10 situation. So let's start there. It's a 3rd and 10 situation, right? And I believe the ball was already on like the 30 range or something, if I'm not mistaken. Ends up right at that point, probably would have been around like a low 40-yard field goal, 40-something yard field goal, which, mind you, I think our kicker inside of 40-something has been, I think, pretty solid, almost perfect, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, we run the Wildcat, like fake reverse. Jeremy Bernard takes it to the right side of the field. And you see he has a clear edge, right? He hits a perimeter, and there's only one guy to beat. And that guy is number 1, who I think is the guy that went to my high school, DQ, whatever his name is. DQ Smith. He actually we went to the same high school, believe it or not. He has an opportunity. Now, Mike tweeted us, and Mike did have a point. Now, it did look like he probably could have, if he met Bernard, as soon as he took that angle and met Bernard and stopped him from getting the first down and forced Alabama to kick a field goal. Here's the thing, though. At that angle, if he goes and tackles him and he hits Bernard out of bounds, right, the clock stops, which would be great. If he doesn't, if he makes a tackle and it's inbounds, then South Carolina really is messed up because then they had no timeouts to stop the clock. Alabama could just wind the clock way down. And then they still would be relying on Alabama to make the field goal, which at that point would have been, it still probably would have been like 30-something maybe, I believe. Still could have been around that 40 range. Fair. But again, the clock would have wound all the way down. And if he did make it, this game over, cool, whatever. However, the fact was he was a little later getting there. Could he have made the tackle before the first down? I mean, he could have, right? I mean, we'll never know. But he made the business decision that it already appeared. And he might not, again, you got to remember, guys, these guys are like in the moment, like during the play. He can't necessarily, I mean, yeah, you could probably periph the sticks, but he probably wasn't 100% sure if Bernard already got the first or not, if he was right there or whatever. So he made the business decision that he was coached on, right? And now play the clip if we need to in a second, that if they picked up the first down, just let them score. And the reason I'm talking about this is because the controversy was when people heard Shane Beamer in the press conference say, we decided to let him score if they got the first down. I don't think he initially said that. And that's what people were taking for like their tweets. Like, oh, he said, let them score. Why would you do that? But here's why, guys. In football, it's all about, you got to make decisions based off scenarios. Everything is situational, right? And it's not just the head coach. You guys got to understand. It's like I'm wearing a headset. These guys all have headsets. Everybody in the booth, on the side, like everybody's communicating. You've got people up top that are running numbers. You've got everybody's communicating. And this is what they knew. They knew that they had no timeouts up. They could not stop the clock. If Alabama stayed in bounds, they would end up winding the clock down. And yes, I understand that the kicker wasn't probably the most consistent, especially the deeper it was. But where they were at right there, I mean, it's either you can say, hey, we can risk letting it wind down and let them just take the kick and we just hope that we can try to block it, whatever, which that's one point, yes. Or you can just let them score because you figure they're probably going to make this kick, especially once he got the first down. That's the most important part, right? And then just hope that you can try to drive down. I know everybody, especially Ricky, was saying, oh, well, you're telling me this offense with 30 seconds is going to be able to drive down the field. They know that the chances of that is slim, but they also know the chances of them blocking this kick or even this just guy missing, again, especially once it got close, was also slim. So the reason I say, yes, it was the right call to let them score after the first down, because once he got that first down, he was already, I think, past the 20. That kick would have been like a 25 to 30-something yard. This kid, our kicker, I don't care how inconsistent he's been, he hadn't missed from that range. And for most kickers, that's nothing. And Alabama also had 2 timeouts. So what would have happened was if Jeremy went down, and coaching actually says to go down, right? Anytime we sit in a meeting, what coaching says is Jeremy should have gone down at like the 1 yard line. They line up the next time. They get the ball centered in the middle of the field. They let the clock wind down, and then you kick the field goal, and it's game over. That's literally what coaching, that's what everything says. I know it's easy just to run in the end zone, but you see it time and time again. You also see that sometimes NFL teams will let guys score because South Carolina might not be built for that. I know they would have needed a whole touchdown out of field goal, but you'd be surprised. Like with 30 seconds, I know you don't have timeouts, but if you're working some of those quick outs, a guy like Lenora Sellers that has scramble ability, all you need, plus not to mention, I know we did that squib style kick or whatever the case was, but say you start on like the 25. If he scrambles for 15, you're already around like the 40 range. I mean, that dude's got a big arm. You set yourself up for maybe a Hail Mary. You got a guy like Nick Harbor who's 6'5". So you guys got to think about all these things. Like, and the only reason I'm bringing this up is because I one thing that really bothers me is when we have people, no offense, I'm not talking about y'all, Tia specific. I'm just saying in general. But when people go as far as, like, if you disagree with the coach, cool, but they're going as far as like calling a guy stupid and laughing like, oh, he's a joke, he needs to be fired. And I'm like sitting there thinking like, in reality, you guys are wrong. And it's crazy that so many people think they know more than a guy that gets paid millions of dollars, right, to do something and practice these things. These guys eat, sleep, and breathe the sport and have done it for years. We got to stop thinking we know more than all these people, man. That's all I'm saying. Because like the reality was, like he said, and he clarified, once Alabama got the first down, it was in their best interest to let them score. Because I'm telling you guys, I don't care about statistics and like, once he got the first down, it would have been a no more than a 30-yard field goal, Alabama would have centered the ball, and it probably would have been a chip shot. Right? Now, I see Tia saying there's a lot of ifs in your argument. There's going to be a lot of ifs in everything. Like, again, there's no sure answer. That's the thing. There's no sure answer. Like, technically, yeah, Alabama, they could have just let Bama go for the field goal. But hindsight's always 20/20 as well, though. I'm just telling you guys, when these teams meet and they go over these situations, the way they went about it is what any other coach and team would do. I'm just telling you guys. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying, oh, it was perfect that he did this. Obviously, it did not work out. I'm just telling you guys from that perspective. So let's do this. I want to dive into this actual breakdown. I wanted just to bring that play up, and I think I still have his audio of him answering it real quick. I'll just play this for 2 seconds before we go to break. And then when we come back, I'll break down all my thoughts. We got my dad on here. Definitely want to get his thoughts. But man, did I not have it anymore? I literally had the part where he clarified. I'll find it. I'll play it on the stream during the timeout. But when we come back, if you guys still don't understand that whole point, I'll try to clarify it a little bit more, because I was trying to. I know Ricky and Tia were definitely, they're stubborn on it. But I'm just telling you guys, from all the meetings that I've sat in terms of situational football, I'm telling you for a fact that is standard. Like, what they did is normal. He's not a dumb coach. It was a smart decision given that we got the first down. The only thing I would argue is, like Mike said, it's a good point. One technically probably could have made that tackle before the first down, and it would have been like a high 30s kick. And I probably would have felt better about that. But again, if he's tackled in bounds, though, I mean, you're just hoping at that point that he misses a kick. The best case scenario would have been if one hit Bernard out of bounds, stopped the clock, you forced that field goal from 4th and whatever. But knowing Bama, I mean, as aggressive as we've been, I wouldn't be shocked if it was 4th and 1. Hell, for all we know, DeBoer might have damn gone for it. Try to get the first down anyway. I doubt it, but still, I'm just being funny. But we have been really damn aggressive. All right, let's hit this timeout. We come back. We're finally diving into this breakdown. Alabama, South Carolina. You're going to get our thoughts right here on the Miller's Edge. Tied 100.9, 1230, WTBC. Do you have? All right, good deal. I played the audio, presented both sides. Yeah, see, so I didn't listen. Like I said, I'm not only talking about UT. I'm saying in general. I was listening to people say, or reading people say, "Oh, this guy's an idiot. He should be fired." I'm just like, bro. Let me see y'all's. I know y'all always you got to stop. Well, you got to emphasize the amount of time on the clock, Ricky. Ricky, this is what you're missing, bro. That's irrelevant at this point. Listen, the time would listen. 30-something seconds, bro. I'm telling you right now. How many times have you seen an NFL team have 30-something seconds on the clock, even if they don't really have timeouts or whatnot, and they're able to hit holes, right, or in a zone, quickly line up, whatever, and at least get the ball, just to at least cross the midpoint of the field? You're telling me you don't think they could have taken about 20 seconds to try to hit a couple things, maybe a scramble for 15 yards, run out of bounds, maybe hit another, out, whatever, quick thing, whatever, and they're near the midline, and you don't think you would at least say, all right, let's try to go Hail Mary or something at that point versus a chip shot field goal? That's what I'm saying. I hear what you're saying about, I mean, no offense, it kind of is obvious at that point. If you have more time, we're not really discussing this. But it's when you're in that situation, it's 3rd and 10, you have no timeouts. The coaching point literally makes the most sense. If they get the first down, let them score. Bama had 2 timeouts. Bama still could run more plays. Bama wasn't just going to get the first down and just sit where they're at, right? Bama was going to continue to move the ball a couple more plays, right? And then, and most importantly, get the ball centered. That's what you guys have to understand. I mean, y'all want to bring up these statistics. I don't think our kicker has missed inside 30-something or 40 yards. If I think it's like outside of that, which by that point, he would have been in that area. People are mean. They told me to get back in the kitchen saying he should have kicked the field goal. No, I'm not saying, whoa, wait, we ain't doing all that. I just wanted to explain that point. I mean, my dad's on here. Let's see if he wants to add to that. Golly, man, this small screen, I'm not used to it, but you want to give your thoughts on that real quick while we're doing in this timeout? Yeah. Reed just corrected us. Within 40, he has not missed a kick this year. Ricky said it's still not making sense, bro. If it's not making sense, bro, you just got to.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Don't waste your energy. Do not waste your energy. Love Ricky, love Tia, but listen, get behind your computers. Do what you do. What you're getting paid to do. Don't tell somebody that coach is stupid. Then if y'all know everything, then y'all obviously in the wrong profession. I mean, it's the dumbest thing what you're saying. You're not dumb, but what you're saying is dumb. I mean, so
Hold on,
don't waste your time.
And welcome back into this Victory Monday edition of Miller's Edge, tied on 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Art Sport Experts. Ricky, I know you're on the line. I'm gonna get to you, and I'll clarify a little bit more, but I'm not gonna be as harsh as my dad was saying. I'm just telling you. I'm telling you for a fact. I'm trying to save face for you guys. And ask any football player, coach, whoever, and they will tell you the same thing, man. That's football 101. You know what I mean? Again, and it is a decision. You could just take the risk, but again, it just makes more sense in their situation at that point. Our kicker has not missed a field goal in that range. And after you got the first down, it would have been like a 30-yarder, center of the ball, and you have no chance at least, right? Letting us score at least gives you 30 seconds to say, hey, we got Lenora Sellers. Maybe he can come up with some crazy miracle play that's probably better than just letting them go down to 1 second and kicking a chip shot. So let me get in this breakdown real quick, Ricky, and we'll jump over to the phone lines. But I definitely want to do this and definitely get my dad's thoughts on this game because I know you guys have been waiting for it. Obviously, good, bad, ugly. There's a lot of bad, a lot of ugly. Let's just start with the bad first, right? Because defense was good. I'll get to them in a second. Offense could not find a rhythm. Something just seemed off. Ty wasn't as accurate as we've seen him the past 6 weeks, right? It was like he was just a step behind. He missed on throws that he typically doesn't miss on. So he obviously didn't have a great game. His numbers pretty much show that, right? I think he was 24 of 43, 253 yards, 2 touchdowns. He didn't have any interceptions, but we did have fumbles that we'll talk about here in a minute. I will say this: the time of possession, it ends up being a lot more balanced by the end of the game, but up to about the fourth quarter until we had some of those long drives, which we didn't have to this game. That was one thing that was uncharacteristic. Notice I used the word uncharacteristic. I talked about this last week. I said, South Carolina, watch them on tape. We should not lose this game unless we go and play uncharacteristic and we do some things. And I'm going to talk about that in a second. But so we didn't have those sustainable drives. We didn't have the time of possession like we wanted. We had number of 3 and outs. That was uncharacteristic of us, right? Ty Simpson, the way he played, uncharacteristic. It's a common theme. You'll get where I'm going with this. We had people try to tell me that I'm tripping because I said the offensive line needs to continue to shore things up, be more consistent. Well, thank God you don't listen to those people and you listen to me, right? Because in this game, you got to see that. Now, I will give South Carolina's defensive line credit. I was more focused on their edge guys, which those guys definitely had a big presence in this game, right? Dylan Stewart bringing a lot of pressure, 46, a good player, had himself a sack. But I probably didn't give enough credit to the interior defensive lineman, right? Monkel Goodwine, he's a good player, but he transferred from here. But 93, he had himself a day, right? He was embarrassing our interior offensive line. We lost the battle. There's no way to put it. They dominated the line of scrimmage on that side of the football, right? Their defensive line, they dominated us up front. And that's why I stand firm by what I say. I don't listen to PFF numbers. I don't read this. I don't listen to people that just make podcasts and have no experience or whatever the case may be and try to tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. I watch the tape, and the tape shows that our offensive line needs to play better. That's just a fact. We need to get that shirt up. Now, luckily, we were able to figure some stuff out in the fourth quarter, right, offensively. But through the first 3 quarters, man, it wasn't it. Too many drop passes. I know a lot of people are only focused on Ryan, but there was a number of drop passes from a number of guys. Again, we just seemed off offensively. We weren't clicking. And that's why I said, if South Carolina wins this game, it's because we go out there and we play uncharacteristic and we do things that we haven't been doing. And that's exactly what happened from an offensive standpoint. That was not how we've been playing the past 6 weeks. right? We could not establish a running game, which I guess that's kind of been a little consistent. We haven't really been solid there at all, but still, that was nowhere to be found. And then once the passing game wasn't clicking, we obviously had major issues. And that's why I've been saying this. The extensions of the running game are great until that also is not really clicking. And then when you become one-dimensional, it's a problem. And that's why we always say these things. You can't get overly excited when things are just looking perfect and we're throwing the ball over the field. This is why we talk about you still have to be able to have some type of running game. Because what did we say a few weeks ago? At some point, it will come back to bite you. And it almost came back to bite us. That's a fact. So we just got to get those things cleaned up. But I want to give South Carolina credit. For as poor as I thought we played in this game, I thought this was probably our second worst performance of the year outside of Florida State, mostly from an offensive standpoint. I will say South Carolina's defense impressed me. Their secondary players, they're good players, man. Swift, or I can't remember, maybe number 4, good, long, lengthy corner, man. He's a good player. Kilgore, good player. DQ, get kid from my high school. I mean, they're good players. The guys up front were good. The linebackers are decent as well. So I want to give them credit. I don't want to make it seem like as if like, oh, we just run characteristic completely, which was true, but they also did their part in helping forcing that. Bringing pressure. I told you guys that they were aggressive. They would bring a lot of blitzes, whether it's from linebackers, secondary guys. The big sack fumble, they brought a cat blitz. I mean, and they executed it well. Those guys do a really good job. So I definitely want to tip my hat to their defensive unit. But remember the other thing that I said. Even if we play bad, I just don't think they have the offensive power to still be able to pull it out. Guys, that's exactly what happened. If that team had any type of offense that could really move the football and capitalize on a lot of the mistakes we made, especially in the first half, good chance we don't win that football game. Just going to be completely honest with you, right? I mentioned they didn't really have a running game. It's like they had, pieces and here and there where they had some plays, but if you look at the numbers, it still wasn't there, right? Their offense they don't have enough to put together, and that's exactly what ended up happening. Like I said, I don't think they can put enough points on the board to still even be able to win this game unless we just played that bad, and that's why they almost won. But even then, they still weren't good enough offensively to capitalize on it, right? Offensive line for them played better than I expected, probably helped having those guys back from injury. But again, you guys saw what they did. A lot of screen game. They tried to get Lenore Sellers involved. A lot of perimeter stuff, right? Jet sweeps and around. Same stuff we saw on tape. They hit that deep shot to Nick Harbert. Look, that's going to happen. You got a guy that's like one of the fastest guys in the country, 6'5". Cool. Outside of that, I mean, I'm pretty sure he led the team in receiving yards, and he had 1 catch, right? Lenoris led them in rushing yards with 67. I mean, it literally went exactly how I said probably would happen if it ended up being a close game. I said there would probably be a big turnover, especially on special teams. What happened, guys? Special teams turnover. So it's kind of crazy, man. It ended up really playing out like that. Good news is about our offense, we finally put it together at the end of the game. 2 late touchdowns really saved things. Shout out to Jeremy Bernard. I said this on my post-game show. And this might be a hot take to some, but I think this is true. And trust me, you guys know I give Ty all the credit for everything he's done this year and he continues to do. And I'm not saying this because he didn't have a great game Saturday. I'm saying this because if I had to choose an MVP right now for our team offensively, I might have to go Jeremy Bernard, man. It's called most valuable player. Talk about being the most consistent, talking about we don't have a running game, finding ways to get him involved as extensions. I mean, the guy just shows up time and time again in clutch moments. I mean, I don't know what more you can ask from this guy, right? Jeremy Bernard, to me, and obviously him and Ty are like up there neck and neck, but this guy, man, finds a way. And he's got favor. You know why? He held, I think he was the one that put it together, like a Bible study worship night last night at the stadium, man. It was packed out, by the way. So obviously God is showing him a lot of favor right now. But that's what I've had for our offense. Flipping it over to defense real quick before I pass it to my dad. They were the good in this game. Defense played solid. I know they gave up points, was like the first drive or whatever. It's what it is, right? You're getting your rhythm. Cool. But you talk about guys stepping up to the plate, putting points on the board with that pick 6 early on. That was huge. Finding ways to get stops. We were put in some tough spots as a defense. We stepped up big. Guys on the D-line just keep playing better. Seeing James Smith really come along, right? You already know, the big powerhouse you got in the middle with Big Tim, but just seeing him in action, right, clogging things up, right, just being physical at the line of scrimmage, allowing those linebackers to do their job. Those guys are playing a lot better, right? We know Deontay Lawson had the big fumble later in the game, but he's been playing a lot better. I still think, he might be behind a little bit of a gear, maybe from the injury, whatever the case may be, but he's been playing better. I thought he had a really solid game. 41-10. They continue to improve as well. Had some plays in the game as well. And I thought secondary was solid. But just overall, man, the only thing was there some times we struggled to contain Sellers, miss some tackles? Yeah. But, you're expecting that. We talked about how talented this guy was and that he led the country in missed tackles for a quarterback. So that was going to be part of it. But I think the most important thing is this defense, man. One thing that we can bet on is that they will show up in big moments. And you're talking about, South Carolina having the football, an opportunity to move the football down the field and go score and win the game. What does the defense do? They force the fumble, they give the ball back to the offense, and they basically killed all hope for that South Carolina football team. So, I'll be honest with you. I know the defense, we talk about every week. They get a lot of attention sometimes, a lot of flack for certain things, whether it's some of the explosives here and there, this and that. But one thing I think it is, man, I think we just finally got to start accepting the fact that, look, man, it's going to happen. You're playing against good players, good teams. But the most important thing is they do a good job limiting points. And then when they get put in tough positions and their backs against the wall, they do a hell of a job to get stops. And I feel like each week, man, they just get better and better. They've been forcing turnovers. They've been doing a lot. Pass rush has been better. D-Law stepped up, got some pressure on the quarterback. 42 continues to show his presence, getting pressure on the quarterback, looking better and better as the edge defender, setting that edge. We're looking really solid and sound on defense, right? Not perfect yet, right? Nobody's perfect, but I'm really pleased with the progress that they've made, and I'm really pleased with their performance from Saturday and continuing to step up when we need them to. And I think they look solid as well. So that's what I've got overall. Reed, we'll do this. We'll combine breaks because I want to get my dad's thoughts to piggyback off of mine. And it looks like he just got to a spot where he's not whipping the big Cadillac anymore. Tell me what you thought about this game. Happy belated birthday, by the way. I know you wanted that as a birthday present. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. But what'd you think overall?
Well, just listen to you break down Bama. First of all, shout out to Bama. Great win in a hostile atmosphere. I was on the sidelines, had a chance to say hello to Chap, say hello to Jay Mose, and Jeff Allen came up, hugged me, and it's weird. A lot of players come up dapping me. I guess they probably seen this before, knew who I was, and shout out to those folks at Bama that came up and showed me love before the game and all that. So it was good. Because I am a Bama fan, except for on Saturday. Let's just be honest. I hear what you're saying. Bama shouldn't have won this game. South Carolina kicked their tails. Period. South Carolina lost this game. Bama didn't win the game. South Carolina lost the game. And what you can't do against good football teams is give them opportunities, right? The 14 points that they got, South Carolina gave them 14 points. With Zool bobbing the ball and the guy pitching, that's just 7 points. Good throw. He just bobbled it. Give me 7, right? South Carolina gave them the game winner. Ballard Norris thought the whistle had blown. He was going to put the ball out. Dylan, or whoever the guy's name was, stripped the ball. And they just basically gave them the win. Okay? Then South
Didn't
Carolina,
he do that last year? He put the ball on the ground when y'all had a chance last year too, man.
Yep. And then our kicker missed a field goal. Then one of the touchdowns the North made, there was a bad call and a penalty they're holding. And
you dropped 31 dropped a clear interception too. We took a shot on second down and we threw it right to him and went
South
right
Carolina,
in his chest.
Listen, sometimes you need luck. Sometimes let's think about you got to survive these games, right? Bama survived. But if we're just honest, South Carolina watched this film yesterday, and I'm sure all of them, they had buckets in the meeting room for them to throw up in, because there's no way that Bama should have won this game. No way. South Carolina should have won this game by double digits. So, and I'm not just saying that because I was there. I was on the sideline. I'm talking to players. The reason why I said to y'all last week, I said I didn't expect South Carolina to win, but I said this to you. South Carolina has enough pieces to beat Alabama. Y'all remember me saying that? And I told you that. I told you about the defensive line. I told you about Dylan Stewart. I told you about Thomas. I told you about DQ Smith. I told you about Kilgore. I told you about those corners. I told you about the defense. And one thing that South Carolina went into this game, knowing this fact, they matched up very well against Alabama. Why? Same thing I told those players on the sideline. Cade Proctor couldn't block them. The right tackle couldn't block them. We had a huge advantage there. And so, and I was right there in the midst of the huddle of the defensive line when they came up the fifth time. I actually gave 46, and I told you this. I did it 2 weeks in a row. Certain moves how to beat Cade Proctor, which he got sacked.
Oh, come on. This dude, were you a bull now?
No.
Oh, hell
No, I'm not a bull.
man.
I'm just a player that can tell a player, work this move, because Cade Proctor would open up the inside all day long. Because that's what he does, right? But anyway, here's my point. South Carolina should be upset with themselves for letting this game slip away. South Carolina beat Alabama except for the last, which you got to finish the game, and they didn't finish. Defensively, I'm disappointed that they let them go 80 yards in that critical third down where they had them way backed up. Then they called a penalty, and then they still gave them the first down. They just made some crucial mistakes. You count on one hand of the mistakes, and you go, if it wasn't for that, South Carolina went beats Alabama by double digits, right? But Alabama, give them the credit. They won the game, and they made the plays that they had to make. That's football. That's what happens.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, I'm concerned about Alabama. And the reason why I said Alabama to me may not be a championship team, because they're going to face a defense like this again. When they get to the playoffs, they're going to face people that's going to be able to give them havoc. And they didn't come off looking like the number 3 team in the country. I know you give them the defense love, but South Carolina had moved the football. South Carolina had opportunity. They just shot themselves in the foot. And so they should be concerned. Yeah, you win. That's a big thing. You win. But there's a lot of concern, especially on that offensive line of Alabama. They are not good, period.
Well,
they're not good.
We got to hit this timeout. We'll keep talking about it, especially during this break. When we come back, I got some clips I'm going to pull up as well. We'll go to the phone lines. But there's a couple things I actually am in agreement with you on that you just said. And I'll say which the ones those are when we come back. For hour number 2 right here on the Miller's Edge, Time 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Quick timeout. We'll be right back.
Coming.
You know, I didn't say this on my post-game show because I didn't want people to be all get their panties in the wad. But to be fair, I'm not going to lie. I don't have a problem with you saying that you guys lost that game. And the biggest reason why is, I mean, for 2 years in a row, you guys are in a position to go win the game, but you basically give us a gift. Y'all did it twice in last year's game.
Yeah.
And in this game, I mean, you definitely did it with the fumble. And I'm not discrediting our defense. I mean, again, we capitalized then, and kudos to the offense, right? Like you said, we made plays when it mattered most, and that's all it boils down to, right? So I have no problem like giving you, I agree with what you're saying, but at the same time, I also think, we had to capitalize too. But in terms of those concerns, and this is what I didn't say on my post-game show, this is a common theme though. When we've played good defenses like that, whether it was Missouri or this game, right? If you notice, I know you think y'all's offense was capable. I'm just telling you, y'all's offense wasn't capable. That's why I said that last week. Y'all did some decent things in this game, but you didn't have enough to win this game. My concern is, like you said, we will face some good defense again. When we are in those positions, and that team actually has an offense to complement that good defense, That's what worries me. For example, Missouri, they had a great defense that gave us challenges. Look at their offense. Bo Prabula, I pray he heals up quick. That was a bad injury he suffered. But in the game against us, I mean, he was seeing ghosts. Those terrible throws he had late in the game, I mean, he lost them the game. You know what I mean? South Carolina, defense played great, but their offense wasn't enough to capitalize on it. I know you said they had some plays, which they did, but it wasn't. Imagine if they had Ole Miss's offense, right, to capitalize on that stuff.
We'd have blew Alabama out.
You see what I'm saying? So when we do get in the postseason and we are faced up, matched up against a team like maybe Ohio State with a really good defense, but offense that can also, put points on the board, likes of, maybe an A&M, right? A&M's defense looked pretty damn sound, and their offense is really good too. That does cause me a little more concern in those matchups. However, I do feel confident that we've shown that when our backs are against the wall, we do find a way. So I'm not saying we won't be able to, but it is going to be even more of a task knowing that the teams that we played were really good. Oh, go ahead.
Here's the thing about Oklahoma, which should scare Alabama, their defense, and they can score. And so,
yeah, but their offense hasn't been as good as I thought. Mateer hasn't been playing as good as he was earlier before the injury.
He hasn't, but still, again, here's the thing about the SEC. Any given Saturday, if you don't play your best football, you can lose. South Carolina could be the best 3-5 team out there, right? And it's like, this is what I told you. It's a dangerous game for Alabama. I was saying that all last week. Despite how they have played in the past, I knew if they get it together, they can beat anybody. And they just made mistakes. And Lenore's got to protect the football. He's got to, he did it last year, did it again this year. He says that he thought the officials blew the whistle, which I can kind of see why. There are two people. He was kind of going down. He said he was trying to put the ball out and down while they was pulling on it. But he got to be smarter than that, because I thought, okay, here's the thing. Ryan Grubb, kudos to him. He outcoached our defensive staff that last drive. Those calls he made, very creative. That's why I talked about the number 2 sharp pencil. Ryan Grubb did that. And he had some great play calls down the stretch that caught South Carolina off guard. He knew that South Carolina plays a lot of man, especially down in the red zone, and he made them get confused. That's great. That's great coaching. Kudos to Ryan Grubb. That was Nick Sheridan. We'd have won that game. But my point is,
hey, I will say this. There was a couple of times with Ryan Grubb, I was like, ooh, earlier in the game, but man, when it comes down to it, and we need a play, you talk about getting that number 2 pencil. He got a sharp pencil back there.
He can draw it up, and I like it. So, yeah. But let me just say this. And then people go, you said, but this is true. South Carolina lost the game. Alabama did not win that game. Because South Carolina, here you go. It's kind of like, God give us grace. It's free. Here you go. And let me just give you this win so y'all can stay in the top 5. But if you're really watching that game as an Alabama fan, you go, boy, we got lucky. We got our tails kicked today. And we still won.
But I'll say this, though. I mean, a couple of things. Number one, the fact that we found a way, as poor as we played, and found a way at the end of, I hate to say this, but last year, that team didn't have that same moxie, right? When they got in those tough back against wall situations. Normally, we just kept spiraling. This team, I feel like, is showing that they can step up in those moments, which that gives me some confidence. I do like that. And number two, I'll say this. We got to remember, too, man, South Carolina's got a hostile environment. It's a tough place to play. Not to mention, that was game 5 of a 5-week stretch of in-conference games, and the last 4 all being ranked opponents. So I'll take that into consideration, too. I said this on the show last week. It makes you wonder when we're going to sputter a little bit. I just know football. There's no team that, I don't care if it's college, NFL, you don't just run the table every single, even like when we were playing damn good, we would hit a point where we'd have a game where we'd sputter a little bit, whether it was mental fatigue, physical fatigue, just whatever the case may be. And
agreed. But
yeah,
they didn't.
And I figured we were coming up.
They sputtered because it was a mismatch. Our defense against the offensive line, majorly. There was a mismatch. I mean, Shane Beamer said it. They knew, no disrespect, and he said there's no disrespect. But watching the tape, just like they watch tape like you and I, we watch the game like it's tape. You got to know that, and I knew this firsthand, that this offensive line is pretty much, I ain't gonna call it trash, but
No, they're
they're not
just they're
trash, but
inconsistent.
but they're but
Four-time
they're,
SEC
they're not real good. They're not real good, and they're
Well,
gonna
they're
have
well,
some struggles.
well, no,
They're gonna have some
it's like any
struggles.
offensive line, in my opinion, right? You've got holes, right? Right tackle. I don't care what anybody says. Right tackle is an issue. Doesn't matter who you put in there.
Left tackle is an issue.
But not as much. I'm just saying, right tackle is like a what is wrong with my mic or my camera? Can you guys see me, or does it look weird to you guys?
Yeah, nah, it's your Wi-Fi.
Hold on. And welcome into hour number 2 right here on this Victory Monday edition of the Miller's Edge, tied at 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Arch Support Experts. Man, we've been breaking down this 29-22 victory over the Gamecocks. Hell of a game, man. Really close one. Looked like South Carolina was about to be able to storm the field, and Alabama's defense, specifically Deontay Lawson, Tim Keenan, I don't even know if he realized he was laying on the ball there. Get the ball back, give it back to the offense. Ryan Grubb pulls out that number 2 pencil we always talk about, man, and he dials it up. I'll tell you this, man, we've got some plays, some sure point scoring plays when we need them. It's kind of crazy. We'll be stuttering and sputtering, throughout the game. Our drives aren't looking great, and it's really execution, right? We left a lot of meat on the bone. There's a lot of missed plays in this game, right? Some drops, some missed throws, whatever the case may be. But when we need a play, best believe you can rely on Ryan Grubb to call something up and get his guys in position to make it. But again, it's some quick numbers real quick to recap everything. Ty Simpson, not his best performance, but saved his best for last. Those last drive or two, whatever, finally were able to get some momentum going and move the football down the field. 24-43, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Did have that fumble off that cat blitz. Again, I will pull up some clips here in a minute so we can watch. Now I'll go over what exactly went on in these plays. Just give me some time. Lenora Sellers, 18-32, 1 touchdown, interception. I mean, dude broke, I don't know how many tackles, but, the dude he's a great player, man. Had some missed throws as well, but it's in terms of his athletic ability, man, it's second to none. He also led them in rushing yards with 67. Jan Miller, 10 carries, 26 yards. Man, we've got to find a way to get our running game going, especially when you play on the road. Daniel Hill, shout out to him. He was the leading receiver, 76 yards. They always talk about the soft hands that he has. We saw that on display in this game. Keon Keeley with the game-winning sack, man. Love that for him. Really cool to see him. And he's got to work. We got to work on his celebration, man. You can always tell when a guy's fresh out there because celebration game was terrible. So I'm gonna work with him on that. But nonetheless, he's out there making plays when we needed him. And Bray Hubbard leading the team in tackles with 8 on the day. Let's do this. We talked about it ourselves. Let's hear you guys. 205-342-99. Before we got Ricky up first, I know Ricky got this question. So hopefully Ricky, you got to be coachable. Please tell me you're going to be coachable. Ricky, what you got for us?
Man, just all right. I already know I already know that you got on me a little bit yesterday. I'm still just trying to understand. And in my bad, I didn't mean to. I might have been the one that called Shane Beamer stupid. Past.
Oh, you good, bro?
But like,
you good?
You gotta. I'm still trying to like grasp it because I actually pulled up the play like while I was on the phone, and the ball got snapped to Jeremy behind our Talty's field goal range, like his behind field goal range. So I guess my question to you is like, because for me it wasn't that I thought he shouldn't go down, but I think everything you guys said made more sense last season when there was way more time on the clock for South Carolina to do something. Like, I just thought the game was over regardless if they were to go down, waited out the clock, or score a touchdown. Like, to me, I just thought the game was over. Because by the time Jerm got into the end zone, it was 34 seconds left. When South Carolina actually got the football, from the kickoff, it got down to 29 seconds, and they had to get down 90 yards within the 10, and they had to get down 90 yards to
But
score a touchdown.
hold on. But there's no guarantee that they're going to be inside the 10. Technically they could have ran that for a kick return touchdown. I mean, that dude's one of the fastest guys in the country. And then their punt returner has like 3 punt returns, not kick returns, for touchdowns. You see what I'm saying? You're jumping ahead. They can't forecast and say they knew they were going to be inside the 10 and have to do a 90-play drive. They could have brought it out to the 35-yard.
But to your point, you don't know if they would have made that field goal either.
I understand that point. No one knows anything, but I'm saying you can't throw in the equation the 10-yard line thing without even knowing that was going to be the case.
I mean, it's
no, but I'm only going off of what happened.
Ricky, it's 6-1 half and does the other, bro. Coaching, you make decisions. Listen, I can tell you all these scenarios are gone over in practice that you can imagine. They understand all these scenarios. So as a coach, a lot of times it's feel. Okay, listen, we got a Heisman type quarterback. We got an NCAA world renowned speedster that can get behind the defense, and he's 6'5". So coach is thinking this: if they get the first down, it's pretty clear. He instructed his defenders, let them score. Right? We down 7. We get the ball. Maybe we get good field position on a fair catch, or we got great returns, as Christian just alluded to. Right? We might get the ball at 35, 40-yard line, and 30-something seconds is a lot of time. So, and the clock stops at first downs. So if you can get back there and you throw a first down or out route and you at the 50 or the 45, now you got a couple of chances to throw some Hail Marys to some tall, physical, athletic receivers. That's all they have. Or you can just say, let them run the clock down. Now we got one chance. We're hoping that he misses a short chip shot field goal, and because they had no timeouts. So when you look at it, you go, let them score. We got a big-time quarterback, big arm. We got big receivers. That we pretty much given them the game, but we have one slimmer of hope, and that's all they had to go off of. So it's not that he's stupid. It's just you got to weigh options. Now, if things would have worked differently, then he'd have came out being like a genius, right? They'd scored and kicked the extra point and overtime won the game. Everybody talking about how great of a call that was. But it didn't work. Now everybody said how stupid that was. But we see this all the time. But we just understand you have to make a decision. And as a Bama fan, bro, you just shouldn't be worried about that. Use your energy and say, you're 7-1. You're number 3 in the country.
No.
Why are we worried about
happy.
that last play? Yeah.
Well, here's my thing, right? So
I know why you're worried about it. The spread was 6.5 points, I think.
I didn't bet this weekend. That was me.
The spread was 6.5 points, and that giving that touchdown made it 7. So a lot of people probably lost a lot of money on that play. So maybe that's why people are up and talking about it.
It wasn't me, man. I took out. If I were, I would have took South Carolina plus the points for their homecoming. I'm just saying. But for me, like let me just ask you guys.
Well, hold on. Before I forget this, let me throw this in there too. Say South Carolina did miss a field goal, which again, once this is like a 20. Again, the kid has not. I don't care how young or inexperienced he hasn't.
You
missed
mean
a field goal.
Alabama?
I'm talking about Alabama's kicker. He hasn't missed a field goal inside the 40, by the way. And once they got the first down, it would have been like a 25, 30-yard field goal. I mean, and again, Bama had 2 timeouts. They could have ran more plays to move it up a little bit more and get the ball centered, making it about as easy of a kick as possible for him, number 1. Number 2, if Bama does miss that kick, Ricky, more than likely, like it's overtime, right? Not more than likely it is because we're going to wind the clock down. It's overtime. Do you think they felt confident knowing we finally hit our stride too in overtime? And there's other things too involved too, maybe that he's thinking like, all right, if we go to overtime, who knows still. But again, 20, like my dad said, that's about as clean of a answer as you're going to get. But go ahead.
Well, let me just ask you guys this, right? South Carolina, I thought did a great job, like putting like pressure on Ty Simpson, like the whole game. Jeremy takes the snap. If you put pressure on Jeremy and you get him going down the sidelines before he gets to field goal range, and you get him out of bounds, Or if he takes a sack, which I don't think he would, he probably would just maneuver or figure out a way to go down, maybe a little bit within field goal range. I still wouldn't have thought. To me, that wouldn't have been a bad play. Like I just thought like they had a better chance of not necessarily blocking the field goal, but Tulsi's never been in like that situation before of a game-winning like field goal kick on the road, and I'd argue a very hostile Gamecock environment. So I thought the game was over either way. I just thought the better chance to me was to put
in hindsight, 2020. Like, I mean, again, they weighed those options. I mean, they definitely thought about that. But I'm looking at the picture you screenshot, and I got a couple notes. One is, again, even if he got tackled where one would have tackled him at, the ball would have been inside the 20. Again, best case scenario would have been maybe you tackle him out of bounds before the first down, the clock stops, and it ends up being, if it's on the 18, like a 28 or so yard field goal, whatever, around 30-yard field goal or so. And you hope that he misses it, and say he does, and then you've got 20-something seconds on the clock, 30 seconds or whatever, try to do whatever to get a field goal maybe yourself, and then you go to overtime, sure. But again, I think people are just forgetting that the coaching point was, if they're getting the first down, anything without the first down, he's telling you they wanted to force a field goal. But once Alabama made the first down, that is when it clicked to the next step. It says, let them score. That's what we're trying to explain. We're not saying y'all are wrong by saying, I get everybody's like, oh, I wouldn't trust Talty even at 30 yards. They didn't really either. That's what they were saying. It was before the first down. Now, to that play, you got to understand, that's a great play call by Ryan Grubb. Y'all are just looking at Jeremy Bernard and Wildcat, but not realizing they've got Ty Simpson on the come around like he's taking the ball in reverse. That's grabbing all the attention of everybody. Why? Because you got a quarterback that's acting like he's about to get the ball, like almost like on a throwback or something like that. So that little probably had everybody on like, a step behind. Is a great play design. And South Carolina just didn't play it well, right? Again, I'm looking at everybody, like the second level guys. They all got fooled by it, and you only had, and everybody else was blocked up. You had one guy to make that tackle on a one-on-one with Jeremy Bernard. And, at that point, he felt like he wouldn't, the guy was going to get the first down.
So defensively, what do you call this?
Defensively, what do you call there? I mean, I don't even know exactly. I mean, you got to remember, it's not like they say, oh, they're in Wildcat, we're automatically doing this, unless I can't remember exactly, unless they had a time to check. I don't know. I'm just saying, I mean, it's 3rd and 10.
Well, everybody expects to run. Here's the thing. Let me give you, Ricky, let me put my defense coordinator headset on, all right, for the scenario. It's 3rd and 10. They're not going to throw the ball. They can do all what we call window dressing. So Ryan Grubb gave them a bunch of window dressing. Let's go Wildcat formation. Let's put Ty out there. Let's do some things to kind of make them think a little bit, because we know South Carolina is going to be in some form of man defense. Because why? They are expecting run. They don't think Alabama's going to throw the football. So you look at the front here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 guys basically in this box right here, right? 9 with these 2 guys. So they are expecting run. So they just didn't do a good job of. So you look at the line, and they're basically running to the sideline, giving him cutback options and things like that. They don't defend the perimeter well. You look at the end. I don't know if that's Stewart or 46, whoever that is. I think that's Stewart. He should be more of a force guy. They got 2 tight ends on that side, right? You got to be able to make this ball cut back. Look at you're in the boundary. First of all, the ball is in the boundary. 6 got to do a better job of changing the field, right? So meaning knocking your guy back, making him cut back on the inside. Look at your help. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys are sitting there.
They had no edge.
The opposite of the boundary, and then you give up the edge. You can't do that. That's on him. So they didn't defend the play at all to stop the first down. This should be a dead in the water play. Now, offensively, they could have an option. He could, give it back to Ty, but they're not going to do that. I mean, you're not going to try that kind of stuff this point in the game. So they weren't very smart. They didn't defend very well, and they didn't carry out their responsibility. And so once they got to this level, they said, you know what, let him score because this is the only option now that we got because it's going to be a chip shot of a. Now look at this is better. Look at number 6 right here. That was now look at the lineman. They're turning and running. There they go.
Yeah, it's pin and pull, right? So they're
Now
pinning
look at
down,
number
they're
6.
pulling.
Look, he's beat. See,
Everybody gets reached and they got pullers. I mean, yeah, I'll be honest with you.
now
Then you see, look at the backer.
look at
He's
0.
Ty. He's getting influenced by that. Even one
Right.
is slow because he's looking at Ty. That's what I was
With
saying. I mean, it's a
aggression.
good play call by Ryan Grubb. I mean,
Look
these guys
at
just
number
kinda all over
7
the place.
eyes. I want you to look at number 7 eyes. He's watching Ty. He's watching Ty.
Yeah, see,
Number
it's
0 is
step
watching
behind.
Ty. See, he should be cutting right this big old hole right here. 6 beat. Look at the helmet. You look at the helmet position. His head's inside. He's hooked. Look at 7.
And
He's
they've got
inside.
the pullers.
And
they
you got a receiver cutting them off. This play's dead in the water. So all you got now is DQ Smith. It's a touchdown, really. If he misses the tackle, it's a touchdown. So they were told, oh, he's going to get the first down. Let him score. Bad defense. Horrible defense. Right? Number 6 should be knocking this. This is a freaking tight end. I would never let no tight end block me. Look at this. You're a 265-pound defensive end. Look at this. Look at it. Look at it.
So then we saying the
Horrible
same
defense.
thing. You agree with me then?
No, I'm saying it's bad defense.
Well, that's my thing is because I personally didn't think they should have let them score. Then you explained to me just now, this is bad. Like this play should have been dead in the water.
No. We're saying let them score because, brother, look, this is a Red Sea.
Now,
I mean,
stop it right there. Freeze. You got the center. You got Jeremy Bernard, and you got this is the number 1 is the last line of defense. Look, there's 10 yards between these guys. He's gonna get the first down, right? He's gonna get the first down. So, coach already told him, let them score. If it's clear cut, let them score because the only hope we got now is giving the ball. At least we get a shot, and that's all they were thinking. But the start, number 6, number 0, need to have their tail. Back in the old days, coach would have kicked them in the butt because you don't read your keys. This critical play, critical.
Yeah, that's what that was.
Player does not show up. Your best player does not show up, and that's a problem. And hopefully they discuss that in meetings. That's a problem.
There you go, Ricky.
Man, I just thought the game was over regardless of what happened. Like
No, we agree, brother. We agreeing with you. Again, we're talking a difference of maybe Bama had South Carolina had a 1% chance, and then maybe it went to 2%. Given they got at least an opportunity to get the ball back in their hands, so at least try to tie it with 30 seconds. We're agreeing. No one's saying it's like,
yeah. I didn't think they were gonna win the game regardless after that, but that's all they had.
Well,
that's all they had.
I'm with y'all. I do think, yes, theoretically speaking, you do have a chance to do something, even if it's 29 seconds left, you're in the 10, you got no more timeout, versus what seemed the obvious field goal game winning kick. But I guess we do all just kind of like agree. I don't know if I would have let them score for a touchdown. I'd much rather you
6-1, half a dozen.
Yeah, I mean, Ricky, we could go in circles all day, bro. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, again, Bam was going to win the game 98.9% of the time, regardless whether they kicked it or let them. It's just a matter of a coach saying, hey, at least let us get the ball back and just try, like a desperation thing at the end. That's all, bro. We can agree on that. All right, we're going to hit this time.
I agree.
Ricky, we appreciate you,
Ricky.
brother.
You're a smart man, Ricky. You're a smart man, bro.
No, Ricky's smart, and we're not saying he's wrong. We're just explaining that if anybody saying he's an idiot, that's what he did. All right, let's hit this timeout. We come back. We keep on rolling. We got more calls lined up. I got the tape pulled up, so I'll show you guys a couple clips. I want to point some things out, and we'll keep on rolling right here on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230, WTBC.
If you find yourself in a wreck, keep 3 things in mind. First, call the police. Second, take pictures of the.
All right.
I'll bet that.
All right. I'll put you off the screen for a second. Let's see. I'm trying to think of what plays we can jump to early. Because I have to use this copy right here. I think it's a good play by James Smith, being physical, man, with his hands right there, shedding a block, making a tackle for loss. He's been coming along, man. That's the James Smith we need up front. I don't know if they show a replay, but no, they don't. All right, let's keep it moving. I ain't trying to get too greedy, man. Ain't trying to get too greedy. Damn, a matter of fact, let me take this off real quick while I go through here. Just so I don't, I just don't want any copyright stuff, guys. Let me try to find a good play. Oh, here we go. Here's that sack. We can do this one real quick. Unfortunately, I don't have the all 22 pulled up right here, so I just have to use this. 46 is a good player, Brian Thomas. We call this countering at the level, right? It's at 3rd and 4, but he goes, he's just trying to do just a speed rush, right? Dip and rip, bending, right? Trying to work Caden Proctor. I mean, that's their whole thing. I mean, our speed guys, they already knew, right? We're vulnerable to, their edge guys already knew we were vulnerable to speed rushes. They did a lot of it, right? But he does a great job right here. We call this countering at the level. As soon as, and Proctor's doing a good job pushing them by. But what happens is Ty feels that he steps up, and that's why this is good edge. This is good pass rush awareness because he counters at the level. As soon as he feels like he's pushed by the quarterback, he immediately gets downhill. And I'm telling you, man, half the sacks most of the time come from these types of plays right here. It's hard to beat guys, especially good players, right? Second effort like that, countering at the level, great awareness by him. That's a good play by him. I mean, Proctor, did his job pushing them by. It's just one of those things where the edge guy was, smart, had good awareness, and was able to come back and get that sack. Oh, here's an interception we can talk about right here. So we're in nickel, right? We've already talked about what these coverages are. You guys should already know what this is. Cover 3, how do we know that? You got deep third player, so 3 deep coverage, curl flat, hook, curl flat. Right? Deshaun Jones, he's a curl flat player doing a nice job playing it deep to short. Right, so that's what we always say when we're talking about playing deep to short. You see how he's playing with depth. He's not chasing this guy. Playing deep to short. Ball's thrown. They break on the football, going to rally, which is a great job. This is what my dad was pissed about. Dude should just catch the football. He bobbles it. Deshaun Jones, great awareness right there. Takes to the house. Right. Again, I would just let it Can we talk about something else? I mean, we're breaking tape down. JS, I love you, brother, but you guys know how I am, bro. If we start getting to be like, complaining about everything, you guys know what I'm going to tell you, man. You have to either just hang out and listen, or I'm going to tell you to keep it pushing, brother. We just go with the flow, man. If people want to talk about something, we respect that. What they want to talk about at that time, we just keep it moving. But I mean, if you don't want us to break down tape, brother, I don't know what you want us to talk about. You want to talk about what, the bye week? And welcome back into this Victory Monday edition of the Miller's Edge, Top 100.9, 1230, WTBC, presented by the Good Beef Store, America's Arch Support Experts. All right, we got the tape pulled up, so we'll be kind of weaving in and out of that, talking about some of these clips. But in the meantime, we'll also be going to the phone lines, 205-342-9904. We got Smitty up next. Smitty, welcome in.
Gentlemen, how's it going today?
What's up, Smitty?
Man, another day, another dollar. Hit the speaker by mistake. But one thing, though, I give Alabama credit because nothing went right on offense, and they still won the game. I would never apologize for winning. But I thought it was smart for Jerm to take the touchdown. But I think Connor Thompson was also happy Jerm got the touchdown. Because you know his pants would have been yellow when he got on that field. Because
y'all ain't got no faith in my man. Y'all ain't got no faith in my man. I mean, he's perfect from inside 40, man. I mean, I know he's a little shaky, but I mean,
hey,
I don't
Sorry.
know. I'm gonna say I had faith in him. I had faith in him.
Well, this ain't the time to have faith. Sometimes you can't have faith in everything. But here's the thing. When people talk about chip shot field goals, nothing is guaranteed. I'm going to go way back here. Y'all remember that playoff game from Dallas and Seattle? Dallas had a chip shot field goal to take the lead. Guess what happened? Tony Romo fumbled the snap. The kick could be blocked. Or the kicker just sank it because he shook. We see NFL kickers miss extra points, and the extra point nothing but a 33-yard kick. So why risk that? And like y'all said, 30 seconds is a long time because all you need is one deep pass. You get a pass interference in your position for a Hail Mary or a game-time field goal. So I think they did the right thing. And the staff did a good job managing that last drive, making South Carolina burn their timeout. And I think that's something right there. But I'll say this. Where the offense messed up at, and this is where the strategy part is, the offense did perform well, so they never made Lenore Stellas a pure drop-back passer. He was still able to play his run-around improvisational backyard game. And we know that kid is hard to tackle. But if you handle your business and go up a couple of scores, then he may not be able to do all that run around and may have to drop back, if you get what I'm saying. I hope I ain't talking wrong on that, but we know how that is.
On which one? You said on which one? I'm sorry.
Like Lenore Stellas had kind of like not because when they missed so many opportunities on offense. For instance, right? Ryan
You talking
Williams
about South
dropped that
Carolina
pass.
or Alabama?
South Carolina, like not making because when Alabama missed struggling on offense.
They didn't capitalize.
Yep. And with Lenore Stellas, right, if you go up a couple of scores, maybe he can't do his run around. He has to be a drop back passer.
True.
And I think that's the case because remember, Alabama miscues also helped them. Ryan Williams dropped that fourth down pass on the money. Next play, deep pass for a touchdown. Would that have happened if he had caught the pass? And see, I think what people got to understand, South Carolina has a dude on defensive line pass rusher who could be the number one pick in the draft if someone doesn't take a quarterback when he comes out, Dylan Stewart. They got some guys.
Hell, even the other guy, Brian Thomas. Brian Thomas. He's got 5 sacks on the year now. He's actually the team leader in sacks. And I was even impressed. 93. I don't know. I got to pull. Wait, I got their depth chart right here. Who is 93 for South Carolina? He made himself some money, boy. Our guards made him look like damn. Definitely, he's much bigger than Aaron Donald, but I meant just how disruptive he was. I thought he was in the backfield. Oh, Nick Barrett. So he's a redshirt senior, but man, he was a good player as well. He was all over the place. Tackle for loss. We had no answer for him. But so I want to give them credit. They're a good football team.
They play good.
Yeah, they play really good, especially on the defensive side. And when my dad says they should have won, he's saying, given how we played, if they would have capitalized, and I'm not going to necessarily disagree with them. Because if I do personally feel like if we played, because I said this during the break for our radio listeners, the two teams like Missouri and South Carolina that we played that really gave us a tough one and it came down and we're on the road. I get that's part of it, but the other part was they had really good defensive play. They were aggressive. They forced pressure. They made us uncomfortable, and we saw how it affected our offense. The thing that those teams also have in common, they didn't have what it takes on the offense side of the football to capitalize. I know Missouri did on the ground, which we did a nice job stopping, but through the air, we all saw Bo Pebril that he was seeing ghosts, terrible throws, interceptions. You get what I'm saying? South Carolina, I know they had some good on offense at times, but we knew going into the game they don't score many points. They don't have a great running game, and they don't really have a real pass game. Their longest the passing leader was that one play by Nick. What's his name? Nick Harbor. Yeah, and so that's why I do personally think that if you're an Alabama, coach, fan, whatever the case may be, we just have to get that cleaned up. So when we do face adversity offensively like that, right, we just have to understand that if we're playing a team that can capitalize on that with their offense, that could be a little bit of an issue down the road when we start playing some of these teams that are a little bit more balanced.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what, Christian? I know Ty didn't have his best game because, hey, this is football. Everyone's going to have a stinker. Here's how it is.
For sure.
This ain't a video game. But the thing that Ty impressed me with was how all that pressure, he still maneuvered the pocket as best as he could. And I thought, and he got some good passes off. He missed some, but he got some like that Ryan when he dropped. He got hit and still put on the money about time. So I think that's a good sign of a quarterback. But funny story, like my friend, he knows about Caden Proctor. But he hit me up. He said, "Man, who's 75? That guy's a turnstile." I started laughing. But I just think that, like with this team, I don't think they're a national championship team. I'm just happy making the playoffs and seeing what happens because it is an elimination tournament. You just have to get in. And I think people got to adjust the expectations of modern college football. You have less possessions now. Team talent a little spread out. You heard a couple of guys say former Alabama transfer on South Carolina side who are good players. You don't have that depth like you used to. And so maybe we wouldn't have played London Simmons this year. You know, he's coming on. If the I forgot his name, Wilbon, I think his last name, if he would have stuck around. Because that kid's a good player, you know. But I just think that fans got to understand it's okay to just win. Every game is not going to be a blowout. This ain't 2015 anymore. And I remember Saban's last year, Alabama, they had a struggle to beat a 4-8 Arkansas team at home. You know, it's just the way of the world. A win is a win. And I said it before I run the exit to camp. I don't know if you've been on social media. Boy, these Big Ten fans stay whining to my SEC bias to this. And my thing is, okay, our slogan is it just means more. With them, we whine more. Guys, Ohio State's number 1 in the country. Indiana's number 2 in the country. Oregon's top 10. No one's complaining that you don't mandate a non-conference Power 4 team. But when we play Citadel, they get mad. How about y'all in Indiana? Y'all want to chant we want Bama. Ohio State is in your conference. So if we fell off this bad, why are people still chanting to play us?
Yeah, we'll find out once we get in the postseason. We'll find out. I mean, I don't know how someone doesn't watch the SEC and understand like we've got so much depth in terms of quality teams, man. I don't know why that's so hard for people to understand, but they'll find out. And what sucks is sometimes when we get to that postseason, these teams are beat up. A lot of them kind of lose that motivation because they went from being a team that had high hopes, and by the time they're a 3-loss team, they're in the bowl game. They don't care as much. And then people start trying to judge it based off of that, but they don't understand on a week-to-week basis what it's like. But, Smitty, we appreciate you, brother.
Take it easy, good brother.
Yes, sir. You too, man. Good deal. Quick timeout. We keep on rolling right here on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230, WTBC. All right, we got 90 folks in here, man. I think we got like 30 likes, man. If you guys can real quick, man, just hit that like button. It takes 2 seconds. We always appreciate that, man. Let's try to get that up if we can. Like I said, we got 30 likes, I think, right now, and 90 folks in here, man. Everybody hit it. We'd be rocking and rolling. I got the tape pulled up too. All right. This was that sack. Again, calls a cat blitz, corner blitz, right? Bring the corner off the edge. Daniel Hill just has a bad angle initially. I mean, this guy's coming real wide, but he just does a nice job bending the corner, man. And then what's crazy is people be quick to go, "Oh, see, everybody's blaming the offensive line, but that wasn't on them." No, that's not necessarily, but who's responsible for this guy? So even if this guy just forced him up, I mean, that's Wilkin right there. So, I mean, if he doesn't make the sack, he's going to make it, or even this guy. You know what I mean? So, let's see. That was a good play by them. Good call. Already knew they're going to be aggressive in this game, and they did a good job. That's why we said on the show, man, if you want to slow down Bama's offense, it's hard to defend the passing game that we have. I mean, Ty and those receivers have done such a good job, man. Your best answer, because you're not going to be able to match up with these guys great, is to force pressure on the quarterback. And that's what South Carolina did this game, and it definitely gave them success. That's where he hurdles a guy. I'm trying to skip through here so we don't have copyright issues. Let's see. Like this, I'll be honest, man. I don't know if this was a hold I know they called holding it, took this touchdown back, but if you're South Carolina, you're watching this stuff. These are the type of plays you have to have, man. You got to capitalize on these plays, man. Norris ends up breaking, felt like 100 tackles and scoring right here, but they get the hold on the right tackle. I want to say, of course, there's an ad. Hold on, let's be careful. I don't want to. Let me swap this real quick. I don't want any copyright issues. But anyway, stuff like that, man. South Carolina definitely had their fair share of missed opportunities as well. Hey, typical, I mean, really gritty type of SEC action, man. I would have put them up right there with that touchdown. But I'll be honest with you, man. I didn't think it was a hold. I watched the replay on the TV copy, and to me, I didn't think it was a hold, but I wasn't complaining, though. Damn sure was glad they called it. Nice hole shot by Ty. They're bringing pressure like every snap, man. I'm telling you, man, that's probably what we're going to see moving forward, man. I mean, I'm telling you, if you go back and look, the teams that had success against our offense, the common theme is they bring a lot of pressure. So best believe we're going to start seeing some more of that for sure. I mean, even here, South Carolina's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And looks like they're in man right here. This is a bust by Sean, he's an Alabama transfer. These guys are confused, right? You got this guy chasing him, unless he was supposed to have him man, and they thought they were switching off or something. But big play for us. I think that was another. Who ended up catching that? Daniel Hill. Yep. Smart play by him. Scramble drill.
This is Miller's Edge on Tide 100.9.
And welcome back in to this Victory Monday edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Arch Support Experts. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. I believe we have, who's up next? Blueberry Steve up next. Blueberry Steve, you still with us?
I am.
Hey, what's up, man?
It's just gonna. Oh, how are you doing, guys?
Good, man. Good to hear from you. How's everything?
Oh, fantastic. It's just going to switch over to Bluetooth in a second. I just got into my... I wanted to say a couple of quick things. First, hello?
Yeah, we got you.
Oh, okay, good. It's on Bluetooth now. First of all, bonjour, Corey. I'm sorry that your team lost. I'm a huge Alabama fan, as you guys know. But my second favorite team is the Gamecocks, because I've been down to Columbia many times. In fact, one of my favorite barbecue places is this small place that they have 2 or 3 locations in Columbia called Maurice's Piggy Park.
Yeah.
You know that?
100%, man. Grew up going to those for sure.
Okay. I do wish that, the University of South Carolina would change the name of the team to the Fighting Roosters, because as one of Ryan's callers said, we're going to beat the Cocks, and
yeah, we had Reagan. He was having a great time with that on Friday too.
Yeah, well, Jumbo was the one who said it first on Ryan's show. But anyways, listen, I'm far from trying to be presumptuous or question Corey's knowledge. I I have to say, great teams find a way to win no matter what. It's true. It's true. The beginning of the game, there's three and outs at the beginning, and I mean, South Carolina, the Gamecocks, they had the right formula to try and beat Bama, but we overcame that. We overcame that, number one, and number two, we're going to learn from it. So,
yeah.
As Corey.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, as Corey said, we're going to run into trouble if we play like that, and yeah, for sure we will. But we're going to learn from it. And the other thing is that Ryan Grubb chose the right plays at the right moment when he needed to win the game.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, he definitely did. And like I said on my post-game show, I mean, at some point you have to expect Alabama's probably going to hit a wall, right? I mean, we've had a lot of energy, a lot of momentum the last few weeks. I mean, you talk about the final game before a bye week, it's 5th straight game in a row, quality opponent, right? You expect there to probably be a little bit of, some challenges, but like you said, the most important thing that was that they were able to overcome, though. They just have to make sure coming out of the bye week, you come out healthy and you get back to work and ramp that intensity back up and understand. I mean, just because LSU doesn't have a coach, just because Oklahoma, dropped another one. I mean, these teams are still coming to play for something, and just got to be ready to roll when they come back.
Absolutely, but I'm very confident. I'm very confident. A lot of what Corey said was correct. Okay, but I don't think. I mean, South Carolina, like, they handed the game. They didn't hand the game to us. We won the game when we had to. I mean, certain plays were just phenomenal. Certain plays were horrible. I mean, but I'm very, very, very optimistic because great teams, as you know, I'm sure from your experience, Christian, great teams find a way to win.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Definitely some things we got to get cleaned up, but like you said, man, the big thing is that we found a way to win. Hey, Blueberry Steve, we appreciate it. You got to get this last time out and stay on schedule, but appreciate you calling. Good to hear from you. I know it's been a while.
Right. Roll Tide. Well, I listen to you guys all the time. I don't call in too often, but Roll Tide.
Yes, sir. Roll Tide. Take care, man. Good deal. All right, quick timeout. We come back. We keep on rolling Tide. 100.9, 1230. WTBC. All right, so this is another. I know we're talking about some gifts, man. We about gave them a gift right here. 2nd and 1. We're in that kind of shot territory. If you don't hit this shot, it's still 3rd and 1, and we know we've been going for it on 4th and 1, especially in this area, right? Starting to get in that fringe area where too far for a field goal, don't want to punt anyway. So shot opportunity, right? It makes sense. However, with this look right here, yeah, I mean, maybe unless you're hoping maybe get a PI call, I mean, that was about a gift given to these guys, man. About as much as a gift as you can get. I mean, this goes right in this guy's chest. Unfortunately, he drops it. So luckily that didn't happen, but that was definitely not ideal right there. But luckily, nothing really came of it. Again, man, those speed rushes still haunt us, man. They still haunt us. We get it out just in time. I don't even know how Ty was able to get this out. 46 again. I know we talk so much about Dylan Stewart, and rightfully so, but 46 is a damn good player, man. Those guys they're pressing those edges and doing a nice job at it. But Ty somehow gets his ball off, and I mean, it's talking about a money throw. I mean, with that type of pressure, being able to hit this, Ryan can't come up with it. It's kind of interesting, man. I don't know. Something just kind of interesting, man. I don't know if Ryan's overthinking it. His technique just kind of just a little. I know he's been catching with his body a little bit, but I don't know, man. It's just a little uncharacteristic. Which I said, man, if South Carolina's going to have a chance, we would have to see some uncharacteristic stuff. It almost looks like his footing's off, but I don't want to risk copyright, so we'll move on. Let's see what else we got here. Trying to think of where we're at in the game. Oh yeah, immediately after, man. And this is going to happen, right? Yeah, I mean, like if you watch this clip, I'll try to play as much as I can without the copyright. The dude, matter of fact, let me go to the replay because you really can see it. Dude, it's just straight go, right? I mean, the dude literally just puts his head down and uses his track speed, right? I mean, that's hard to ask, right? We're in cover 3 right here, if I'm not mistaken. Then we're in cover 3. So you do have some middle field help with this safety, but they do a nice job, buying his attention with the over right here. And then you see the angle. I mean, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I mean, that dude, he's a track star, man. He's a track star. Let me see if I can play a little bit more of that. I want you guys to see his release. I mean, he literally just. All right, here you just see how straight go. I mean, he's just running. That was a 2-point conversion that they missed. 93, man. He was just everywhere. Really good player. He made himself some money for sure. And welcome back into this Victory Monday edition of the Miller's Edge. Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Arch Support Experts. I think we got Bryce on the line. Bryce, you with us?
Yeah, is POP with us?
I think you might have done something to him, Bryce. Every time you call, man, he gets off the line like right before you get up.
Oh man, quit hating, Christian.
No, I'm just saying.
I just wanted to shout out to him. Happy belated birthday, and all the great people were born in October. Everybody knows that.
Are you an October guy?
Yeah, I turned 65 the first.
Oh, well, happy belated. But sorry, man, I missed that.
Yeah, and POP was right. I mean, here's what I'm going to keep it real simple. We got outplayed and got outcoached until the last 2 drives. I'm gonna keep it simple. I mean, it is obvious. South Carolina, we made plays to win the game. However, that's a sign of a good football team. But I'm glad we got an off week. We got a lot of things we got to work on and cheer up.
For sure. No, I agree. I will say, I mean, they definitely outplayed us for a number of spots, especially, man, like their defense, man. I was impressed. I mean, that honestly was one of the better defenses that we've definitely seen this year. And I want to give them their respect. I mean, I know we didn't play great, but you do have to give them a lot of credit on that side of the football. I mean, even on the offense side of the ball, I mean, you knew they weren't going to be excellent, but I thought they found ways to try to make stuff out of some stuff, but they just don't have everything there. But no, I mean, they're a solid team, man. I mean, and we knew it was going to end up being a dogfight.
I told you,
Yeah, you did.
I didn't like this game all year. And that 11 and a half, that line was real stinky. I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole, Christian.
I know, and that's why I kept saying, like, I kept finding myself, I'm like watching the tape, I'm like, man, we should be able to go in this game, and if we play the way we've been playing, I mean, we should handle business. But that's why I kept saying, I'm like,
but we didn't play that way.
A little bit. Exactly, and that's why I said I need to slow down a little bit because I'm like, we're probably due for a performance where we kind of sputter a little bit, and sure enough, that ended up happening.
Well, Ty did miss some throws. However, there was a lot of drop balls too. But you got hats off to the defense. If they didn't hope for them field goals and got touchdowns, hats off to the defense. They did show up and play certain plays, and they made a play to win the game. We got that fumble. That's huge. The good teams, that's what they do. That's the way Nick Saban's team was. You find a way to win. You know, and this should carry us a long way, because not every game's going to be pretty. You know, you're going to have some ugly ones in there. You know, I can't remember who y'all was in 15 or 13 that we won a game, but it wasn't pretty, and I can't remember. Was it Ole Miss, or did they beat us that year?
In 2015, they beat us that year.
Well, there was some 13 or 15. We had a game. Maybe it was a Tulane or something that we played, and we didn't look good at all, but we won the game, like 26-10 or something like that. 13.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's going to happen. I mean, especially in today's game. I'm not too sure, honestly, but I just know in today's game, I mean, again, that's why you just got to be careful looking at records, especially a team like South Carolina. I mean, like, if you watch the tape, I mean, they definitely struggle, but there's some highlights there, and they definitely capitalize on that stuff. But we also, I mean, I'm looking at this play right now. I mean, it's 3rd and 11, and Ty just misses Jeremy Bernard. If he catches this, it's going for 6, right? He's got nothing but grass. So,
but
like you said, I mean, you learn from those. Yeah, but you learn from these types of games for sure. We just have to understand. I mean, moving forward, I still stand by what I said. I mean, I feel like we still have yet to play a team other than maybe Georgia that really had that the defense, or excuse me, an offense that was capable enough to complement really good defensive play. And that's when, I think we might be in a little bit more of a bind.
And we still haven't played our best game. It's still out there.
That's true.
Yeah, and that's where you got to look positive at. We haven't played our best game. I mean, this is probably our worst game on offense we played other than Florida State.
Yeah,
I mean,
I agree.
This is probably his worst game, but you got to have those. That's just part of it. However, like I said, the defense doesn't hold them to field goals. we're going out there with a loss, and POP's happy. He's really, but he hurt my feelings just hanging up every time I get on the phone, Chris. And what I don't
know, man.
I'm
gonna have to ask him, man. I don't know what happened, Bryce. I mean, that's your guy. No, I'm just playing. No, he said before you got on here, he said he had to run and do an errand real quick. But I'll tell him you said happy belated birthday.
And hey, I hate that South Carolina had to lose, but I would have been rooting for them. We wouldn't play in Alabama. Hey, I'm gonna tell you something real quick, real funny. At work, I got out yesterday morning, and an Auburn fan, I said, "Man, y'all won." He said, "Yeah, but y'all almost lost." Isn't that funny how Auburn people think?
That's a loser's mindset right there. That's a loser's mindset if I've ever heard one. Bryce, we appreciate you, man.
Hey, and shout out to the guy that invented yoga pants, because I just saw God's creation and some yoga pants.
Lord have mercy. Okay. Bryce, you have a great rest of your day, brother.
Because you turn 65, man, you don't have to be dead.
Oh, wow, man. You're a character, brother. You're a character. That's why we love you, man. Be easy, Bryce.
Bye.
Good deal. Bye. See you. All right, we got to close things out on the radio. I'm going to keep the stream going. We'll keep watching some more tape, but we'll be back here, Tide 100.9, per usual tomorrow, 11 to 1 Central Time. Plus, we got a big day tomorrow. I forgot to mention this earlier. Clint Lamb will be joining us at noon and 12:30. We anticipate talking with crazy Tony Brown. We'll get him. We got a bye week, so we got some good conversations coming up right here on the Miller's Edge. Tide 100.9, 12:30 WTBC, presented by Good Feet Store, America's Arch Sport Experts. See you guys then. All right, so I'm gonna hang out here on the stream for a little bit. I just had to close things out via radio. Appreciate you guys, Chase and Reed, by the way, for everything today, man. Yes, sir. Be easy, guys. Good deal. All right. Yep. So, yeah, we're going to keep the stream rolling just because I know there's some stuff I wanted to get to. And I mean, we technically you'll probably do it tomorrow. It's just hard doing it during the radio because I know we get callers and it's hard for me to break stuff down while we're on radio. So here we go. All right. So big first down here. Oh, wait, I just totally lost where I was at. Where were we just at? I don't remember where we were just at. We'll just go from here. Let's see. 14-12, late in third. Let me speed up. Can you show the play where Stewart looped inside? Oh, on that. Yeah. Hold on, I'll find that. I think that was in the. Was that in the third quarter? I don't think he got the sack though. I think it was a pressure, but he got a big hit on Ty. But he ran that perfect. That was a perfect loop, man. Quick step upfield. He loops into that A gap. That dude, man, his burst is insane. Make sure we're still sped up. There we are. Might speed up just a little bit more, man. I don't want to risk no copyrights, guys. I shouldn't even said that word because I don't even want it. But Norris, man, just making stuff happen. 1st and 20. I mean, this guy, special player. All right, let's see. Is that maybe it's the next series? Let me try to find that for you. While I look for that, why are we struggling with the run? I'll be honest with you. Our guys up front, man, just hadn't been doing a great job executing. And what's interesting was the Vanderbilt game, and I showed you guys the tape, right? Like our execution in our run game was much better against Vanderbilt, and I want to say Missouri was pretty decent too. And going against a solid defensive front, it's weird, man. We're just so inconsistent. And again, I don't know if it's that's why to me, I know some people are like, oh, well, you're playing guys that deserve to play, and it's good for the rotation. Like there are positives, maybe more so on like the developmental side. But this is the thing, guys. Offensive line is a position where you have to gel, right? Like you have to be able to work as one. And I personally feel like when you're playing a guy here and playing a guy there, and he's on the left side 1 minute, the right side another, and he's working with another guy, it's hard to have that gel and that continuity, man. I'm not saying that's the sole reason, but I will say, I mean, I don't think that helps. But there's a reason they're already doing that in the first place. Is Horton hurt? I think he got banged up. I don't know if it's like anything really to be concerned about, especially with the bye week, but I think he should be good to go by LSU. I haven't heard anything otherwise. I mean, even with the chip, you see Dylan Stewart still almost finding a way to get back there. Great defense by 4. That guy's a good player, man. He's a good returner, but he played really good at corner as well. He made some nice plays in this game. I'm trying to find that play for you with Dylan Stewart. I'll try to find it here in a second. But bad placement by Lenoris right here. You put that ball in front of him, you at least have a chance to try to make a guy miss, get that first. Let's see. This is the point. I know people were wondering about this, about forcing contact. I don't think I would have necessarily. I think I agree with them not calling it here, just because it's so close. I know it looks like he's just directly pushing him, which he kind of does. But I think the ball already touched him at this point, right? The ball touched him back. It's probably a replay, actually. Hold on, let's see if we can get on the replay. Yeah, so the ball, like he's starting to push him. Yeah, I mean, I guess he is starting to push him right there. Which I mean, there's always a lot of contact with that stuff. But once that ball touches him, boom! I think it's like right there. I don't even want to risk the we'll just keep on moving. But then it's free game, right? Once that ball touches that guys, it's free game. At 2:54 in the first quarter, we can cover 3. We're way past that, bro. I'll have to see if I can go back here in a minute. But obviously, we know how this goes. They get the ball. I mean, perfect field position. We have no edge right here. I think somebody had tagged us in this. I think Dwight tagged us in this play right here. We have no edge. I need to see it from the back end. I don't have that right here, but Yanze unfortunately missed that tackle. Then there's literally no. I mean, it's just open field. So easy touchdown for Lenoris right there. Like I said, if you go back and listen to my keys, I said if South Carolina's going to win this game, they're going to have to force turnovers, probably have some big special teams play, which we just saw. We're going to have to play uncharacteristic, and they would have to be able to affect the quarterback. If we don't do a good job protecting, that's pretty much, I mean, the story of this game, guys. So See, Jonze's the quarterback player here. I don't know why Damani buried himself right there, but Jonze's a quarterback player. This guy's he's literally acting like he's taking Jonze, then he's climbing up. That's what see how he ends up blocking. That's what they do. It's like an influence, right? They make the edge guy think that they're about to block them, they're about to get kicked out, so it slows them down, and then they avoid and they climb up to the second level. So it's almost it allows them to pretty much block two guys with one guy. So tight end did a great job with that right there. And that's why you saw Jonze kind of freeze just a little bit. And then we saw the result. But this is where we finally get things rolling and actually move the football, right? It's like we magically got back in sync right here. Great play by, I think that's Kilgore right there. I mean, hell of a play right there. Really good athleticism by him. Sorry, if I had the other copy, I'd feel a little bit better about slowing it down and going over kind of exactly what's happening. But I'm just trying to be careful with this stuff. South Carolina's at man right here. We end up got Jeremy one-on-one with 31. I mean, you can rely on this guy. I mean, he's going to make a play when you need it most, man. That's why I'm telling you, Mr. Reliable, man. Is Stewart one of the players you've seen? He's up there for me. I haven't seen many guys with that kind of twitch, especially that young. Oh, of course, man. He's got twitch. He's got bend. Good length, man. I mean, dude's long, lanky, but yeah, nah, he's a dude for sure. I mean, just because, I mean, he might not be leading them in sacks right now, but best believe it's because he's getting all that attention. And rightfully so. I mean, that's the type of dude. I don't, man. You talking about spending NIL money. I wish we would drop some money on some pass rushers like that, bro. Like the way South Carolina looked on with their front, like that's how we should be playing. Granted, we're playing pretty solid with our defense, but in terms of just having that type of an effect, you know what I mean? Like that's what I always was so used to with this being so disruptive. But again, this drive was just so much better for us. Finally able to move the football. Big conversion right here. A lot of our time possession came in the second half and like the fourth quarter. I'm pretty sure because I think they were beating us in the time of possession battle. Like, I think we had like 17 minutes or like almost 30, like 3 quarters throughout the game. Carroll had a rough day. Yeah, I mean, and then Formby gave up 4 pressures as well. I mean, again, that's why I stand firm on that. That's why I was so adamant about the whole offensive line conversation, right? Like we have a good performance against Tennessee. I give them credit for that. You know, Georgia, even though their pass rush had been struggling at that point, still gave them credit because I do still acknowledge that they're going to bring pressure, they're going to bring backers, they're going to try to generate it somehow. And I thought we did a solid job. However, I'm not satisfied with we did good or I'm not just looking at it a number on PFF. I'm watching the tape, and the tape has shown right tackle has been a huge circle this whole year, even before the year. I mean, like I talked to these coaches, like again, not throwing them under the bus, but I mean, they'll tell you. I mean, they indirectly pretty much say every week in the press conference, like they had concerns there. Even at guard, I mean, Jaden Roberts being back, he's been playing good at right guard, which that's at least some help there. But even Dewberry's kind of like this up and down. We just have to get more consistency there. Not just in pass pro. I mean, even just running the football, man. We have to find a way to establish our running game. And the extensions have been great. I mean, you've seen a screen with Ryan right there. I mean, pitch and catch, right? I mean, pretty much getting the first down or does get the first down. You can do those things, but it's just having a traditional running game. I mean, you got to have something, man. Especially when we have the guys that we have. I'm not saying just because they're good recruits, but I'm just saying, I mean, you got one of the best centers, in my opinion, in the country. Caden Proctor, I mean, I know he still struggles against speed rush, but he's made strides. And in the running game, I mean, that dude could move a house. I mean, Dewberry's a big physical dude. He might not have the best footwork, but I mean, he's a strong guy. Jaden Roberts, a big physical, strong guy. I mean, Wilkin Formby's actually not bad in terms of run blocking. I just don't understand why we still struggle to move the football and get that type of push up front consistently. I don't really understand that. It's just confusing to me, if I'm being honest with you. Another one dumping it off to Jam in the flat. Again, just able to move the football, man. Something we weren't able to do earlier on in the game. Putting it together when we needed to, man. Driving the football down the field, man. I mean, in that third down conversion to Jam earlier that we showed, I mean, that might have been bigger than what people are really giving credit for. Play action. I think this is where Ty rolls out. Let me skip ahead just a little bit. Great awareness by him. Sorry, I feel like I'm kind of getting a little too greedy here with this stuff. I don't want the thing to get taken down. Is it bad running back vision? I think more so up front. I mean, especially in this last game, if you just watch, I mean, again, Barrett or 93, I mean, those guys, they beat us at for the battle of the line of scrimmage, right? They won the battle of the line of scrimmage. You go and look at the Vanderbilt game, we actually did well and we ran the ball well. And you go look, we were physical. I mean, I think that I can't remember what video it was. Probably when we broke down the Vanderbilt game, but I mean, it goes and it shows on tape. I can pull it up, not right now, but at some point. It's about getting pushed. It's about executing, man. Climbing to the right guy, get to the second level. It's all the small details. I don't think it's so much vision. I mean, I do feel like Jam's been a little bit less of what he had been before he got hurt, but I don't think it's just. I think it's more so on the guys up front. Longest run by Hill was to the outside. Why don't we do that more often? That's easier said than done. I'm just curious. I had to see what play it was. Whether it was like wide zone, was it pin and pull? Was it toss? I don't remember exactly. I mean, there you go, right there. Let's look at this. See what happened right here. Who was that? The linebacker? Sorry, I wish I had the back copy. Yeah, 0. I mean, 0 ends up being unblocked right here. Let me see if I can try to tell who's supposed to. Well, it starts with Brailsford, right? I mean, Brailsford gets beat from the jump, right? Is that 93? No, that's 44. So that's Goodwine. He transferred from here. So he's penetrating up front. So what does that do? Look at that hole that opens up. So because Brailsford, right, this guy just penetrates upfield and see Brailsford is literally moving the opposite direction. It opens up this huge hole where their backer just fits automatically, right? It makes tackle for loss. So that has nothing to do with vision. That's just, again, we get beat up front. You know what I mean? Left side looked decent, but Brailsford got blown up right there and ended up making a big crease for that backer to fit. Great play call right here. Again, we've had a lot of success off of this, and I don't know why these defenses don't understand. I mean, as a defender myself, it always was, common knowledge. If you ever have a skill guy or an unfamiliar face in the backfield, that your antenna should be going off, right? Anytime Jeremy's lined up in the backfield, like 9 times out of 10, he's somehow involved in the play. And I don't know why these guys or these defenses haven't figured that part out just yet. Let me see what defense they're in. But see, it's like the little things that make it even more challenging. And you got to tip your hat to Ryan Grubb, man. Like the way he's designing this stuff, right? They start him off on the left side in the gun. They shift him to the right, and they're going to work him straight across into this flat route right now. And the fact that nobody's picking him up immediately is mind-blowing to me, because anytime, like when I was playing, we knew immediately. Like if they lined up a skill guy like this, like if I'm game planning for Bama, and I would tell my defense, anytime this freaking dude is in the backfield in that gun position, right? Or you're going to run a back spot, all keys should be on this guy. And the fact that this backer, and that's what you want. And that's why they do that. Like it's such smart play design by Ryan Grubb. Because when you put Jeremy in that spot, there's a high chance that he's going to be, the backers are responsible for taking him. And who do you think is going to win that matchup? Jeremy. So it's a really smart play design. Like they literally look who's at the receiver spot. You got Kevin Riley up there. basically trading these positions. So that causes conflict for a defense because normally they have like rules with the backs. So now their backs at the one spot as a receiver. You got this back here, but this you got Jamie right here as a back. Whether they're trying to banjo or you're just playing man, whatever the case may be, which it looks like it's just straight man because they're blitzing one of the other backers. Great call by Ryan Grubb, man, and great execution. You think Brailsford's size and skill set contributes to the lack of efficiency between the tackles? He wins with his feet. I don't think his skill set helps us in the run game. Nah, I mean, it depends. I mean, yeah, on some of those gap scheme type things, sometimes, I mean, he might struggle here and there. But normally when you do gap scheme or you're doing like duo, I mean, it's a double team. He's got to help. So his size wouldn't be like the biggest issue with the, like, say, duo, but like maybe inside zone. I mean, look, I've seen him handle his own. I mean, there's going to be times where his, him being a little bit lighter shows up, but his footwork is second to none. I don't think it's. If anything, I would put more of the blame on the guards. I think in terms of the interior, those interior runs. 71 was chipping, then missed the linebacker. JS, if I had to guess, probably because our right tackle and right guard were whatever he wanted to all game. What was the question? Did you think Ty seemed rattled? So why? Yeah, Ty was definitely off. I mean, was it because he was rattled? I think that definitely played a piece. I mean, he faced a number of pressure, from the edge guys for sure, but also, I mean, they were bringing corners, they were bringing backers, and also, I think, I mean, you're in a hostile environment. I mean, he might have just, had one of those games where he just was a little bit off. Look at the play design, right? You've got Daniel Hill taking the snap, handing it off to Ty, faking the reverse to Ryan Williams, and then hitting Cuevas. I mean, there's just so much window dressing that, I mean, as a defender, it's hard to even really process everything that's going on. I mean, because everybody's obviously going to be keying Ryan Williams on the reverse, but Ty's got the football. A nice job by Cuevas making that catch right there, obviously in a crucial situation. That was big. But another great play design, man. Again, Ryan Grubb coming up big, and then I think we got the fumble right here. My dad said something like he was trying to reach the ball. So this is quarterback design draw, right? This is literally a design quarterback draw. Tim Keenan doing a great job stuffing it up front, right? Where is he talking about reaching the ball? I don't know what my dad was talking about on reaching the football. But great job by Deontay Lawson, man. Stripping the football out. It's funny. I really don't think Tim had a clue that he was on the football for a minute. But, I mean, you talk about a gift, man. That's a blessing. Not necessarily a gift because we made it happen, but I mean, like, the odds of that. And then even last year, I mean, South Carolina had the football march down the field, and then they fumbled, and then they had a couple other issues that, I mean, to be fair, I know people don't want to hear this, but my dad's not entirely wrong. I mean, that's probably 2 years in a row. Like last year, South Carolina should have won that football game in Tuscaloosa. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. Just calling a spade a spade. They kind of beat themselves towards the end. And then this year, we both teams had things that you know what I mean? Like whether it was us definitely playing bad, but even them, I mean, they had missed opportunities as well. But they had their moments, man, but they just couldn't capitalize. And that's the other thing I said. I just don't think the offense has enough. If their offense was a little bit more capable, we might be talking about a different scenario right now. But yeah, he ripped out. No, but my dad was saying like he was trying to stretch the football or something. Like it came out late. Like he was just trying to just put it forward. That sounded like a homer excuse. I'm not gonna lie to you. That I don't know what he was talking about there. Then we already know this. We already talked about the big play coming up, but already in field goal range right here. And let's see, that's 2nd and 3. I think this is incomplete. I think we miss a. No, that was the Ryan. I think maybe it's the next one. Is this one? Yeah. Incomplete pass there. And then we talked about this play earlier, but Again, really good play design by Ryan Grubb once again in these critical moments. But South Carolina, man, they just had no edge on this play. I'll just show you that end zone part right there. We talked about it already, but and they had no edge. Pin and pull play, they're pinning everybody inside. No one sets the edge. I mean, you got Polar's running free. Pretty much ball game at that point. Not pretty much. I mean, it was. Seller said in the press conference he had both hands on the football, but he put one out to brace himself, not to stretch the football. Yeah, so I don't know what my dad was talking about, but there's that. So we just rolled through those clips. I know we just went through it fast, and we're kind of just doing a quick little note just because I don't want to risk anything with the stream. But you guys got any questions on any specific moments or spots that you want me to go back to now real quick? Or if there's anything I didn't hit earlier that you guys had questions about, let me know before we get out of here. Everything Pop said last week was right. Bama just been snatching souls this year. They give you some hype and tie rolls. Yeah, I think a lot of what he was saying was true. And I would like to think with all my keys that I said that if South Carolina was going to have a chance of this game, that was what was going to have to happen. I feel like that was pretty spot on too. Oh, the loop. Yeah. Do you remember where it came from or when it was? I want to say it might have been the third quarter. Was it this right here? No, that's us on defense. Sorry. I want to say I feel like it was in the third quarter. Let me see if you responded real quick. Maybe early fourth. Your dad said oh, well, these people kill me. We never. Yeah, he just going to call a spade a spade. It's just I try to just explain you just have to understand. Are there going to be times a coach might make a bad decision, and a lot of people can say clearly, yeah, that was yeah. I mean, I'm sure, but this wasn't one of those, man, at all. I mean, it's like my dad said. I'm just telling you guys. I mean, we review. I mean, literally every situation scenario you can think of, man. That stuff is gone over in meetings and practices, the walkthroughs, especially for us to Friday. When I was here with Coach Saban, the way it worked was Friday before the game Saturday, we would go do a walkthrough. It'd be walkthrough / call outs. And basically we would walk through scenarios, and it would be random scenarios like that. It would be those types of scenarios. And coach would just be like, all right, it's he's reading the sheet, and it's all right, it's there's 2 minutes to go in the game. They just I don't know. We just got a safety. We're kicking it here and doing it's something random that you know what I mean? The stuff that doesn't really come up much, but we would hit on all that stuff for moments like that. So that's why me and him were just making that comment. People got to understand, man. These dudes eat, sleep, and breathe this stuff. I mean, they constantly are watching tape, film, practice. I mean, they're not idiots, man. Where's this play for Jake, man? It wasn't that one. I know he ran a nice loop stunt. He crushed Ty. I thought we went straight through here. Okay, let me see. That was the tackle for loss. We saw that. Is it this? Yeah, here it is, Jake. I got you, bro. You see my apologies definitely in the wrong. No, you're good, bro. You're good. No, you're good. Like I said, I have a rule on here, man. Because I try to listen and respond and do as much. And I'm if we ever get to a point where I feel like people are almost becoming bossy, I kind of all right, man. But you're good. You're good. I know you're excited. You want to jump to something else. You're good, man. No worries. No worries. It's not so much you. We've had people in the past though that kind of reminds me. I'm not saying you, but with a child that's not getting their way. Sometimes you're man, we're not going to. I can't sit there and just do everything people want me to do, especially when they start getting testy like that because I'm like, we got calls. We got to get to. I'm trying to be respectful there. I know I've been talking a whole hell of a lot. I feel like they've been waiting for 30 minutes on the phone line. The least I can do is give them a few minutes. You know what I mean? So, but great loop stunt right here. So his job here, and again, you see, tight end presence, looking to chip. Right, they're going to do that. And again, thank you, Ryan Grubb, for doing that to help guys out. But this is how you counter chips, right? And I haven't mentioned this much, but this is why you're seeing a lot more teams run these games and do things like this. They know their best players are going to be getting chipped. That's what we've shown. We're going to chip a whole bunch. Well, how do you counter that? You got to send guys on stunts and loops. And whether it's just a natural game, like for us, like in the NFL, we used to do this all the time. Because when I was with the Panthers, I mean, we had Brian Burns, Mario Addison, Bruce Irvin. I mean, we had some dudes, right? So we saw a lot of chips. So we ended up just having like what we call natural games, where if we had a tight end, we could pre-snap kind of alert it to our tackle, but just so he knew if we got chipped and he sensed that we lost contain because we're going to wrapping, he will replace us. And we just wrap. And it ends up, I mean, you can get a lot of sacks like this because what happens is, and they do a good job here, they're bringing Okoronkwo, who takes all the attention, right? You see the center and the guard. They're both picking up him on this blitz. They don't even realize Dylan Stewart wraps until it's too late for Parker Brailsford. But I mean, that dude, his quickness, man, is something else. He's a good player, but 2 steps upfield, right? And the reason he's taking, so if you have your inside foot up, sometimes people just take one big step upfield. You got to get this tackle's attention because he's got to help this defensive tackle out. If not, what happens is this tackle, our offensive tackle, will just drill this guy, then he can't get contained. But he does a nice job selling upfield first, right? I think that's Goodwine or whoever it is, but ends up clearing it out. The backer also ends up clearing the center, and that's why it's a great stunt, right? Backer's going to take the center, he's taking the guard / tackle, and then they get what they wanted, right? Just, I mean, it opens like the Red Sea because by the time he's coming through this gap, Daniel Hill is already escaping out, right? So that was great design, man. Which again, they do a nice job, you know, being aggressive, getting after the quarterback. I give them that. Great shot though, Ty. I mean, Ty ate it though. Ty ate that shot. Anything else? Any other last questions, real quick? Red Morgan came in, made some good tackles too. Who do you think has the best edge rushers out of all the teams we have left in the regular season? Texas A&M to that. Shoot. They looked pretty good against LSU. Oklahoma's just front. Their defensive front is really solid. Hell, Auburn has a good group of guys too. I'll be honest with you. I mean, Oklahoma, I want to say, let me see. I want to say, hold on 1 second. I was about to say, I want to say, I think, who is it? Oh no, the guy from Texas A&M, I think, has yeah, Howell's leading the conference in sacks, but then you've got Atkins from Auburn. He's up there. He's got, I mean, does he have 7? But yeah, I would probably say between, I mean, Auburn's got a good front. I mean, Oklahoma's got a good front. And I mean, honestly, they all do. So, I mean, you just got to, that's why I made the comments about the O-line originally, because, excuse me, I mean, it's not like, oh, we played Missouri, they had a good, and then we played Tennessee. Oh, they got good fronts. We're good. We can coast now. Hell no. Nah. Then even talk about postseason. I mean, Ohio State, I mean, they got some dudes on defense, man. You got some dudes. When 42 got the call for unnecessary roughness for throwing the guy down, what's he supposed to do? Just not suplex him like that if the whistle starts blowing. If the whistle didn't blow, maybe it would have been, but I think the whistle was already blowing. Maybe sometime this week we can break down some of the failed run plays. I don't understand we have so many issues. Yeah, I'll pull up like some all 22. That way we can get the end zone angle, and I can just show you. I think I did it a couple weeks ago, more so on like the good run plays against Vanderbilt. But I'll pull up I'll bring the all 22 for this game, and then we can look at the end zone copy and just focus exactly on like the offensive line. How do you counter that as an offense? Is the center is supposed to wait for that? I'll be honest with you, Jake. That's the point of the pressure. I mean, like, as an offensive line unit, man, like you just hope that those guys have the awareness to pick things up and feel things out. I mean, there's normal rules. Like normally, if you have a guy crossing your face, there's a good chance somebody's going to be coming back. So I think let me see if I can go back to that play real quick. Wait, where was it at? I think it's right after this one. Yeah, right here. So normally, like, and it's tough because he also has a back who's kind of checking things out before he releases late. But when he has that linebacker crossing his face, technically he can perif 6, right? So the way you stop that is once he sees 6 crossing, because like I told you, the rule is if you have one guy crossing your face, somebody's coming back. Just like when we run these text and exit stunts, like the tackles, those guys work these reps all the time, meaning like if the tackle sees the defensive end crash down into the hip of his guard, he already, like, they're trained to immediately transfer their eyes and be ready for that D tackle to come wrap, and vice versa. If that guard feels the tackle crossing his face and going towards his offensive tackle for the pick, he already knows, okay, a text game's coming, right? Or a TE game. That defensive end's probably going to be wrapping. Very similar here. This is just a step above where this is like basically like an extension of a text almost, right? Matter of fact, we used to call like a Texas loop, right? It's just a loop stunt. So instead of him going, well, no, same thing. He ends up wrapping the same area. I mean, it's basically a text. It's a little bit quicker. Normally with a text, you're selling this upfield. It's basically like a text. But instead of you being in this A gap, right, he ends up on the backside. A little bit more of a path. He's just crossing face. But I mean, again, South Carolina just did a nice job executing, man. And really, Parker Brailsford tried to come on. He saw it too late, and this guy's just too good of an athlete, man. I mean, at that point, you're about as good as beat. Superfly, we appreciate you, man. Have a great rest of your day. Ruben Bain is legit, and Miami's front is really good. But yeah, like I said, JS, I mean, all good, bro. No big deal at all, man. No big deal at all. All right, I think that's about it for us today, man. If you guys haven't, man, just drop a like. That always helps us out. Subscribe if you haven't. Good stuff. And yeah, look forward to doing it tomorrow. But again, we got Clint Lamb joining us tomorrow at noon. At the top of the hour, we'll talk with him, get his thoughts on this game and just, all things, Bama. Then Tony Brown will be joining us as well around 12:30. So it's going to be a very, very filled day. It'll be entertaining for sure. So be on the lookout for that, and we'll keep on rolling per usual. Appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.